Good morning.
Good morning, Diana.
How's it going, everyone? Hi, Bill. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Anne. And Julie. And Yolanda. Hi, go to the chat and give me a little hi back. Go into the chat.
Good morning.
Hi, Charles.
We were talking about how expensive the new Macs were, but I have the Microsoft Surface Pro 7, and if you get the same specs, 16 gigabyte, 512 or terabyte, you're talking over $2,000 too, and they're all the same.
Yeah, people compare apples to apples. In the past, Macs were more expensive, but now, actually, after the pandemic, because of the pandemic, the parts and pieces for computers have become so expensive that at this point, the same specs on a PC or on a Mac, when you go to the high end, good computers, which Macs are, there's no real bottom end computer. The Macs are good computers, even the easier, weakest ones. When you compare apples to apples now, they're the same price.
The reason I like the M1 in the Surface Book, there's no fan. So the other ones, you hear that fan all the time, and it gets you. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, my son has had a Surface now for quite a while, and he got it originally because he wanted a good computer. And here I am teaching Macs and stuff, but it was at that point cheaper to get a Surface than to get a Mac. But that's not so right now anymore. And from what I hear on all the people who know about this, because I just read about this, it's going to take like 2 to 3 years, if it does even out, for it to even out again. Maybe it never will. Maybe PCs will just continue to stay at that higher level. But right now, a Mac or a PC are equivalent. And so you get all the extras you get with the Mac for that kind of money. And actually, something else, people look at the computers and go, oh, they're so expensive. But a high-end Mac 3 years ago cost the same as a high-end Mac now. Equivalently. It's just that people are accustomed to the price of a MacBook Air, which is not the high end, the ones that just came out right, a week ago or 10 days ago now. Those are the top ones. They are the ones that the professionals been asking for last, 4 or 5 years. They've been putting out a lot of Macs that were great for the regular public, and they were awesome, but not like for me. I couldn't buy any of those Macs because I needed intense processing power and high RAM and things like that. And those are the ones that just came out. And of course they're expensive, but they're not the ones that regular Mac users are technically supposed to be using. So yeah, so no one get discouraged by the price of these new ones. They are the ones for professionals, for video editors, for photo editors, for people who are really needing all of that RAM and power and all of that. So thanks for bringing that up, Charles. All right, good. And letting people in still. Okay, so cool. Everyone seems to be signing into the chat. Welcome. Any questions that came up in the last couple of days about the time machine? Anything that did or didn't work before we move on?
Diana.
Yes.
Me. When I was trying to eject the external hard drive, it didn't want it to, because it says that it was running another program, but I closed everything and it was only the Finder that was on. So yeah. I forced it, and I didn't know what to do. So the light was on, so I removed it and it make a sound. So I don't know if it's still good or not.
The forcing hard drive off is equivalent to unplugging it by hand, which, people do. It's not good, but it's not like, oh my God, you just broke your hard drive. It's just not a good idea. So yeah, don't get too worried about that.
Okay.
On the other hand, hold on, I'm joining us from my other computer and that takes half of my brain. 1 second. I'm about to click in to this one. Okay, there I go. All right, so there I am. Let me admit myself. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I need to tell it not to join this computer audio. Continue without audio. God. Okay. All right. So the question that Patricia had, sometimes you try to eject an external hard drive, and maybe you had it selected, you had maybe a file selected inside of the Finder that belonged to that hard drive. I'll show you in a minute when I share my screen what I mean. And sometimes it's something as simple as that, but when you try to eject, it says cannot continue, something like the drive is in use, or a message, something like that. You know, her solution of just doing a force eject is equivalent to having just gone, and I'm just unplugging it, which is not ideal, but it works. But ideally what you should do is close your Finder windows and stuff like that, and that usually triggers it. Okay, or maybe you trashed something and you didn't completely empty your trash, and so that link is that you trashed from that hard drive is related to something that's in the trash, which if you're using it for a time machine, you shouldn't be trashing things from it. So anyway, there's a couple different reasons that things kind of sometimes things that you're being using, and that was a good solution. All right, so Sarah, yeah.
Yeah, can I, when my external hard drive is showing on my desktop, can I enter it by just clicking on it and seeing the contents?
Double clicking.
Okay, double clicking. Is there a command that says, I know there was a command that said enter. Was there a command?
Command selected and say Command O. So that's open.
Okay, but I can also just double click.
Because you have to select it anyway. So
Yeah.
you might as well double click, because the select is one click and then Command O is one movement. So
Okay,
in the end, a double click is just as good. Otherwise, and it doesn't know what to open. So
Okay.
if you just do a general Command O, whatever is selected will open, and maybe something else is selected and that will open. So the Command O you need to target by selecting and then Command O.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. So, okay. Letting a couple more people in.
So Diana,
And-
I
yes.
have another quick question.
Yeah.
After I finished backing up that my external hard drive, I wanted to do another one so I could keep it in the safe, but I couldn't do it. So I need to do that. I couldn't do it because I only learned the erasing process, and I don't need the erasing process anymore, or formatting.
So explain again, you wanted to do another hard drive, turn it into a time machine?
Another backup, yeah,
But
to have two.
okay, so why wouldn't you need to erase it? If you're gonna turn into a time machine, you need to erase it.
No, because I have an external hard drive that it has something in there, but it has 5 terabytes.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to add it in there, just add the information.
It's not ideal. I remember I
okay.
told Paul not to do that. But if you must, because you have nothing else, you can do that. But the reasons it's not ideal is just logistically, if this is a backup drive, if it dies, everything on it dies. So anything you put in there that's extra
Yeah.
will die with it too. So unless you have that backed up too, it doesn't make sense then to back up your drive if it has a time machine backup in it. So it becomes a process problem. Not that it's not that you can't do it, but it becomes a bit of a process problem.
It makes sense, yeah. It makes
You know,
sense.
that said, if you have it and you want to do another time machine backup on it just because you want to, then yeah, you don't have to erase it as long as it's already set up as a Mac OS journaled drive. So that's the part where it needs that formatting. If it's not a Mac OS X journaled, then you can't set it up as a time machine. So that's just a warning, because if you have it from before or from a PC or something like that, It just needs that formatting for being a time machine. So if you can go to time machine and say select, and it shows up as a drive that you can
is,
select
yeah.
to a time machine, that means it's correctly formatted. So then go ahead and use it. As I said, whatever is left on it now is kind of on its own. It's not being backed up by this, nor are you duplicating this one. So it's kind of at risk. But other than that,
Okay, thank you.
also
Diana.
be careful not to fill it up, because yes, you said it's 5 terabytes, but over the years, the time machine will start filling it up. But yeah, it'll take quite a while to go from 1 terabytes to 2. So you'll still have 3 sitting there wondering, well, what should I do with myself? So I see it makes sense to use it in the future, in the very future. You can partition your hard drive, like the day you don't need all that stuff anymore. You can erase it and partition it and turn one 5 terabyte hard drive into 2, and turn one into maybe 3 terabytes and one into 2, and then use that 3 for time machine and the 2 for data, or vice versa. But
Okay,
not
okay,
gonna,
makes sense. Thank you very much.
you're welcome. All right, so good morning, everyone else who joined us while we were talking. Nice to see you guys. I was just checking in on how the time machine process was sitting with everyone. Remember that the homework was to try to go in and recover something from far back if you've had one for a long time, or if you just set it up the other day, you can still go in and try to select something and recover it. Did anyone do that? Did everyone try to operate the time machine?
I was afraid.
All right, I don't, how about we do this? We're gonna be working with files today. The next, next week is our last week. So we have 3 more classes, so you're fine. But we're going to be working with files, taking things out of your computer on and trashing stuff and organizing things. So towards the end of this class, which would be on Wednesday of next week, I'll ask you guys to go into your time machine and go check on something from 2 days ago, from Monday. And there should be changes, because if you join this class, you should have different things in your downloads by next week than today, because that's the stuff that we're going to be working with and teaching. So then you can go and see something that you've trashed, you can try to recover it, and we'll do that. We just need a few days of moving things around in your computer for your time machine to show you different setups between when you did it 2 days ago and from what it's going to be by the end of next week. Which, by the way, reminds me that if you aren't yet signed up for macOS Excel level 2, then please do so, because this class not only continues into that one, but in particular, this class really continues into that one, because I stole a chunk of stuff that I usually teach in macOS level 2, put it in here, and now this will flow into the next one, because, when you add one thing, you got to take another, and you really need to continue with file management. Okay, so I don't have in front of me. Oh, I think actually I do have in front. Do I have, is this the macOS level 2 CRN? I might have it, if anything. I think I have it here, CRN 43201. If that's correct, that's Mac OS 10 level 2. Okay, so if you're not signed up for it yet, please do so. And if you don't know, I can check the roster later and you can look and see if you're in it. But I know that there's a lot less in that one than in this one. So that means that a big group of you guys haven't signed into the next one. And it'll continue. We're actually going to interrupt for Thanksgiving week. And then we'll start again with 1, 2, and 2, and 2 for 6 weeks for macOS level 2. Okay. Thank you so much. That was, my husband brought me a coffee. That was my little thank you, but thank you guys too for signing up. It's appropriate either way. All right. So I shared my screen, and what you're seeing here is let me move this, you guys, over to the other screen. Here we go. All right. So now what I want everyone to do, we're going to go deep dive into file handling, file management. Some of you guys have done this a few times. My chair, the back to my chair is it's deciding to take a vacation, and it decided to drop out. Okay, here we go. I'm sitting on my, I'm trying to sit on my high chair. It's so weird because I'm short. You guys who don't know me in person, I'm actually short. I have this high chair that I sit on because I have a standing table and I decided to just sit, but then I have to kind of almost climb on this chair to get it to the right height. So, all right, here I am. Gotta move things around. All right. So we're going to open a Finder window. And remember, I taught you 3 ways to open a Finder window. Let's go ahead and writing it in the chat. To open a Finder window, you can click on the half smiling face on the dock, or go up to the Apple menu icon, the one on top, and click on File, Open, New Finder window. I want you to try all 3. So open one, close. So here's the first one. Go to the dock, click on Finder window, and a Finder window will pop open, which it is opening up in a different desktop for me right now. Okay, so we can close it. So you can open a Finder window and close it, or you can go to this Apple menu icon up here, go to Finder, File, New Finder window. And up here, if you ever forget the shortcuts, this little icon there shows you the shortcut. Okay, so the last way is use the shortcut Command and tap the N. Okay, so that little squiggle that I showed you here, that little squiggle is the same that's on your Command key. If you look at your keyboard, it's got that little kind of a little flower type of squiggle. That's the Command key. So you hold on the Command key and tap the N. But you need to be in the Finder for the shortcut to work for that. So I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do Command N, and here we have a Finder window. So those are 3 ways. You don't need to know all 3, right? Usually one is more than enough, but remember that sometimes one might be more appropriate than another. So let me just show you this. Say that I am in, and I'm going to open Safari, right? So if I'm in Safari, if right now I do Command N, right? Command N. What I just did is I opened another Safari window, because if I go up here, it's a new window for Safari. New window is the same command. The Command N is always the same window command. Command New refers to whatever program you're in. So it just opened a new window for Safari. If I'm in contacts and I open up contacts and I go Command N, right there, new card. See what I mean? So you always have to look at what application you're in, and the commands are the same. So Command O, Sarah asked me today, what's your open? Well, you know, Command O is open and it always works, but depends on what you're in. So if you're in the Finder, then Command N opens a new window. You guys understand what I mean about shortcuts?
Diana,
Yes.
I am a little lost. I click on the Finder, the twin face, the blue and the white,
Yeah.
and what came out were like documents, and then under document, in other words, this
Yes.
inventory, Macintosh HG, and all of those. What are you
When you click on this window, you should get a window. Now, if you're seeing desktop or downloads or whatever, will depend on whatever you're seeing. You don't see a window pop up, a Finder window?
No, when I click on that, there's that Finder face. I'm sorry.
Yes,
that
this
Finder-
one. Yeah, the
is-
little smiley face.
I click on it,
Uh-huh.
and what came out that says Finder and then documents, and then the things.
Are you right clicking, doing this?
Oh, right click. Yeah, I am not
Ah, yeah, no right click, just single regular click.
single regular under the finder.
Why don't you share your screen? Because I'm not sure, something's happening that I can't distinguish. Guys, if you right click, different things happen than if you just single click. So can you share your screen so I can see?
Actually, how do I share my screen? I cannot-
Okay, so, all right, so
Oh,
go
okay,
down
I
to
saw it already.
big
And
green,
then- and
green
then-
button, and then the second share,
Okay.
there you go.
so this is what,
Oh, okay. So what's happening is that you are in a window that you made it so small that you've lost the sidebar. So you have to make it a little bit fatter. So pull the corner. Yeah.
Oh, I
And
see.
now in the other corner. Yeah. Or you might have actually lost the sidebar. Go up to say view sidebar. You
view
made it
sidebar.
view
Where do
up
I-
at the very top.
the very top.
View, not keep going up. Yeah. View. Show,
And then-
yeah, show sidebar. Somehow you must have turned it off. Right up, two up. Yeah, show sidebar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you somehow turned the sidebar off. There you go.
Oh, I
So
see.
this is the finder window. You didn't recognize it because you're missing the sidebar.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
then you want us to click on any of these?
I just wanted a window open. I didn't really care what you clicked on. I'm about to go there. So yeah, we're gonna start with our downloads actually. So, but let me stop your share and move on. In fact,
Thank you.
while we're at it, you're welcome. So yeah, if your finder window looks a little bit weird, you guys consider that something that you might have turned off the sidebar, because that does make oh, I'm just noticing that I've got the wrong this isn't gonna work. I'm sorry. I'm trying to share from my other computer, but in my other computer, I opened the wrong user, and this user, I usually try to share. So I share the opposite of what I have in this computer, so I can have two different choices. So give me a second. I might have to join us again. Let me just switch over my user, and I can't like really explain to you guys what I'm doing, but in my other computer, the one I'm about to share, I had opened up as if I was someone else, right? And you guys, remember I told you that you can use, and I think I did this at the very beginning of all the classes, I told you that two different people can use a computer. So I was signed in as a different person, and so now I'm signing out and signing in again, but it's truly as if I were turning off a computer and turning another one on, okay? Someone saying something?
Diane, I have a lot of stuff in my downloads.
Mhm.
Thinking I
That's-
should clear it out.
Well, we're about to go into exactly that conversation. So if you have a lot of
Wait,
stuff in your downloads, then you're doing good. You are doing exactly what you should be doing, which is be in this class to figure out how to clear it out. So sorry, it's taken me a couple of seconds to get this set up, join without video, because let me let myself in. And there I go. Okay. So let me close that up. All right. So, oh. Getting lots of, since I haven't turned this computer on in a little bit, I mean, since 2 days ago, it's full of messages for me. All right, so let me share this screen now. And now in this computer, if I open the Finder window, so here's a Finder window, okay. When I first open it, it looks like this, which is different than the one I had opened before. So you're always gonna have to decide how you want to see it. And once you set it, each time you set it up here, you're gonna see it differently, but it always stay viewing it that way. So now I'm gonna switch to seeing it in this mode, and this is how I was opening the other one, right? But then this one here is showing me that my desktop and my documents and my downloads, I'm going to go down to the path bar, are inside of the Macintosh hard drive, all of them, Macintosh hard drive, documents, desktop, and downloads. Versus the other computer that I have shows me having my desktop and my documents in the cloud. Okay, so I'm trying to have the same demo because half the classes, if you guys are in one and half the classes on another. But right now, all of us should be at the same place because downloads is in the Macintosh hard drive for everyone. Okay, so if you go to your downloads in your computer, what you're going to find is that your stuff that's there. Some of you guys, when you go to the status bar at the very bottom, it might say, like mine, 7 items. By the way, the number that says it's available is how much space is left on your hard drive. So this hard drive is 500 gigabytes. So I have only 80 available. So I'm getting close. And some of you guys might have 150 things, and some of you guys might have 1,050 things. So everyone go into the chat and write how many items does this status bar right here of your downloads say. And it's not right or wrong. Is some of you guys already have taken this class and you know to clear it all the times, and others are like clueless and things have been hanging out there since the 1980s and you're high into the thousands of things. This is the point of taking this class. So just go ahead in the chat and give me this number. Now, that number is kind of meaningful or slightly meaningless, depending as if you have folders. Because here it says only 7 items and each one is an individual item, right? So maybe it's not such a big deal. I'm gonna stop this share now and share with you from my other computer. Share this screen instead. And what I'm finding in this Finder window is that it also says 7 items, but this is my other computer. You can see that it's got folders. And if I click on this folder, this little arrow to open it up, oh my goodness, there's 122 items in this one folder, which if I close it up, it's right there. And then right here, if I open up, I have many folders. And if I open right here, I have many things. So this is kind of like, ooh, it says 7 items, but not really 7, because my folders hold a lot of stuff. Okay, so there's 7 and then there's 7. It's 7 of what are you holding? Yeah. So anytime you have folders with a ton of stuff, now it says I have 122 items and I have to scroll to see the rest of them. I know most of you probably don't have folders with 122 items, but if you have been taking any of my classes, my Photoshop classes and that kind of stuff, then it, oh, can you guys not hear me?
I can hear you.
I hear you.
Someone's
hear you.
saying, oh, okay, someone says you can't hear him. Okay, I didn't hear it. Yeah, okay. So 10 items, folders, it says Bill, 25 items, 38 items. Cassie's computer is frozen. Okay. Any, go ahead, and I can't hear you, Cassie. Your hand is up.
Okay, yeah, when I turned on my old computer, which has hundreds of downloads, it's frozen right now. So I'm just using my brand new computer. I put nothing on it yet. So
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
trying to unfreeze, but you know, so far, no go. So maybe I bought that new computer right.
Just
it
in,
up.
one of those just-in-time purchases. All right,
Yeah.
well, hopefully not. But you know what? If it's completely frozen and it's been for a while, restarting.
No, just this morning.
Restarting is a good idea.
Yeah.
But then go ahead, if it's still, but meaning it's been more than 20 minutes or half an hour, restart it again. If it's still
Just
frozen.
shut it down, just manually shut it down and
Mhm.
restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that because it was trying to get into Zoom and it never did, so, okay.
I mean, frozen like nothing happens.
No, it's
Oh,
like waiting, it doesn't open up the Zoom properly, so.
it has a little circle of
Yeah,
death.
so I'm gonna just shut it manually, it's trying to start right now, maybe I'll just wait a couple more minutes and see what's happening. So,
If it's a circle on one application, but your mouse is moving freely and everything else is working, like you
No,
open a
nothing.
Finder. Okay,
It's that-
then
it's the
it's
little-
frozen.
it's the little wheel of death going around.
All right.
No,
Yeah.
can't.
You know,
mm-mm.
it's funny because it's such a happy little wheel, wee rainbow colors, but it's not have fun to see it. It's like, what's it, passive aggressive wheel. It's like, hi, I'm so happy and I'm telling you that you are frozen. Okay, with a smile in its face. All right, so yeah, then a forced restart is better. All right, so let's investigate the kind of stuff we have here and how to look at what we have. Does anyone have nothing other than what, Cassie just said? Does anyone have nothing in their downloads? I only see 5 or 6 answers, and there's many more of you in class. So please go ahead and answer in the chat how many items you have in your downloads. And so the reason I want you to do that is because maybe some of you guys have no idea where to look for it. So you haven't answered yet. Others just are don't want to say a big number because, oh my, everyone seems to have under 100. I don't want to say that I have, 700. Please say that you have 700. It's fine. This is the place to do it. In fact, I'm surprised, and I would say that only those of you who have taken my class before have any right to have less than 100 in there because it's not normal to know to empty out your downloads. Okay. But if you're not answering, I don't know if you're not understanding what I'm asking you to do, right? Or if you're just not doing it. So then I'm going to start asking, oh, look at Patricia, you didn't answer, or, Anne, you didn't answer. I'm going to start asking you one-on-one. So just go ahead and answer in the chat how many items you have, because plan C is maybe you didn't open up your status bar, and so you don't know how to look for what I'm asking for. So that's why I want answers in the chat of what number of things do you have in your downloads. Which, all right, so 43, 20, 30, 81, 110, 942. So not too bad. No one seems, not too bad. No one seems to have gone past 1,000. There's always someone who says something like, 7,000, always. So all right. I see. Oh, Anne, you revised your answer probably because you opened a folder up, right? Or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So everyone has stuff in it. I didn't see anyone yet other than Cassie on her new computer say that she has nothing. So now you guys know where these things pop up from. You recognize them. Some of you guys are like, I have no idea what the things are. Barbara just said, should I just delete them? Well, it depends. You can't just like blanket delete them, because if you downloaded them from the internet, well, maybe you needed them, maybe you didn't. Now, when you look at your downloads, for some people it's showing up like this. For some people it's showing up very differently. First of all, one of the ways that things show up differently is because you either have selected icons or list or by column or by gallery. This last one looks very different depending on the operating system that you have. So that's one reason that things look different. Got it. But then even within these, there's something else that could be happening. So say that if I am every time you kind of move in or out, hit downloads again over here, because wherever you leave it, it could have changed. So I'm going to go back to this mode. When you're in downloads, you could have chosen to see things at some point, or someone could have set it up for you where, depending on this little icon right here, and it's an icon that has like little windows and stuff, that it's how to group items. You might have said that you want to see things by date modified, and suddenly you're seeing previous previous 7 days, previous 30 days. You might be wanting to things like by kind. So then you're seeing folders or documents, or so all of this stuff could be so different based on what you have. So let's all go here to this choice and just say by none, by none. So no sub choicing for you, by none. And then everything should show up by alphabetical order. Now I'm saying alphabetical order, alphanumerical order, meaning numbers at top. And then you have names, first name. So numbers in it, but then you have this guy there, like, oh, that's an F. That's not an alphabetical order. Well, guess what? In this case, there's an extra space instead of the F. That extra space makes it go even ahead of the numbers. It's like a 0, so to say. So I'm going to click in here and show you what I mean. If I change this name, and I'm going to teach you in a minute how to do that. If I get in there and so backtrack one, delete that space, then it dropped into its space as far as alphabetical. Okay, so if any one of you see something now that's above a number, it's because it had a little extra space in front of it. So the only other plan B is that if you click on this name here and click on it one time, whoops, it went upside down alphabetical, alphanumerical order. And I click on the word name again, and now it's back. So it's like in, out. So there's like this little arrow here that keeps flipping back and forth. So when you click on this, you switch the order of the sorting. It's sorting by name, but either Z to A or Z to 0 or 0 to Z. Okay. Same thing over here. Look at my sizes. If I click on size, now it's going by biggest to smallest or smallest to biggest. Okay, if I click on date added, now it's going from added latest November 3rd, 2021. I flip May 2021. So it's prioritizing the sorting depending on what I'm doing here. So this is prioritizing the sorting based on what I'm clicking. So now I'm going to go back to prioritize it to sort by name. Okay, so click one last time in name, move it once or twice until it's alphanumerical order up and down. And then now any questions for whom this was or wasn't happening, or what are you talking about? I don't see it.
You know, what you have that I don't
Mhm.
is a plus all up towards the top, all the way on the right.
Yeah, that's the up in the view show tab bar. Yours should say hide tab bar. So click on show tab bar, and that's what that is. And I'll talk. We're not using it yet, so it's okay. So
You.
all right. So any questions there? Did that work for everyone? Did it switch in the downloads up and down? Now, Sarah and Cassie, Sarah has only one thing and Cassie has nothing. So go and do the same thing, maybe on the desktop if you have something, or if nothing else, at the very least, what you have is applications in your computer. So just so that you can see what I'm talking about as far as sorting, go click on name and see it goes from Z to down and then from A to Z, modified, size. Say, most people have, you know, enough things in their downloads that this happens. But if you have, you know, 1 or 2 items, then there's no sorting to be had. Go do the applications, and the applications will show you that same effect. Okay. So now, is that so? Any questions? Was anyone not able, does not know what I'm talking about when I say click on name, click on, does anyone need to show me their screen because it's not working for them?
No.
No.
You're all good? All right.
Yes.
Okay, so that, now that we have that established, because whenever I show this and I say, let's work on this, when people start sharing their screen, I'm seeing all these different setups, and I need us to clarify to have the same setup for things to work. Now, on the other hand, that's for those of you who have folders. This way of looking at things allows you to then see what's inside of a folder by clicking on this little arrow. So if you don't have a folder yet, don't worry, just click on this little arrow, those of you who do have one. And then whatever's inside this folder opens up and it shows me, oh, this is what's there. It's like I have a filing cabinet next to me and I just pulled open the drawer called folders and I go, oh, there's 3 things in that drawer. All right. Now, in reality, this is more like, this is a drawer, this is a drawer, this is a drawer. And these are, you know, those big hanging files inside of your filing cabinet. And some of them, when you open the manila folder, there's just one thing. Some of them have a few things inside, right? That's kind of the equivalent. Now, in real life, we say the word file, and we're talking about a, I don't have it next to me, the big green hanging files, you know, the ones with a little piece of metal and inside you put stuff. That's what we say in real life to files. In the world of computers, no, 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 no. The world, that is a folder, and a file is the final result, the final thing. So a file is the actual thing itself, the letter you wrote, the recipe, the PDF that I downloaded about how to find your Apple ID or your password, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a file. A file is not a folder of stuff. That's called a folder. So it's folders, holds many things, or maybe one thing, and file is the thing that's held by folders. Does that make sense, you guys? There's a bit difference there in how we speak. Okay. So now, in this case, if I want to see everything that's in Zoom, I would open up this little triangle. See how now it's pointing downwards? And now I see what's in there. And then if I want to see what's in class files to download, I point downwards and ooh, there's more folders in there. And then I point downwards and there's more folders in there, and I point downwards and ooh, finally I got to a file. Okay, so this is folders within folders within folders, which is the way that things are organized inside of a computer. It's a hierarchical system. Let me finish this word for a second. So hierarchical system, and basically it's the peon, the king at the top and the little peon at the bottom and that kind of thing. It's the other way that we talk about this is parent folders and child folders and grandparents, right? And sibling folders. And it truly is how the structure is talked about, where this would be the child, the parent, the grandparent kind of thing. But basically inside of my family files, when I open it up, dad has a folder. If I open to see what's inside of dad, oh, he has health, taxes, and work folders. And when I open up health, oh, he has some insurance company info. So it's equivalent to how you might have filed something in a big filing drawer in the past or at work. I mean, there's not so much paper lying around in people's houses now. A lot of it is on the computers, but you basically try to stash things in logical places with folders within folders and files at the last minute. Okay. So now I know that you guys might not have this kind of setup, but I just wanted to show you that. And now, yes, questions. Marsha.
Yeah, thank you. I don't see the little arrow, maybe because I don't have any folders.
Yeah, good
Okay.
point. If you don't have any folders, you don't see the arrow. See how in front of files on their own, there is no arrows. When I open up this and I have files, there's no arrows in front of them because there's no more to see. But when I open this one, there's another folder. So the folder has an arrow because I need to open the folder to see inside. But when I open that folder, oh, there's more arrows because they're all folders, By the time I get to the file, there's no arrow in front of the file. So only folders have arrows. So yes, good question and good point. Okay. And then I can either close all of the family files at once, or I can go, okay, I'm going to put away health, close health. I'm going to put away dad, close dad. I'm going to put away family files, close family files, put away class files to download, and close that one. So you can be step by step, or you can just close it all at the same time. Okay. I kind of think of as a closet that inside has many drawers, and you can just close the doors on top of all the open drawers if the door allowed you to, or slowly close all the drawers and then close the main door. Okay. Let me see. So Doran, you're asking me to accept an iPad, but I'm not seeing an iPad requesting access. So maybe disconnect and connect again, because I don't see, there's nothing in the waiting room and for me, so that I can't let you in. Okay. Just Doran's asking me to let in his iPad, but it's not requesting. So start that request again. Okay. All right. Marcia, that was a good question. Anyone else? Bill, I see your hand is up. Yeah. Can't hear you. Sound.
I have no arrows either, and I only have one item in one of my folders, and it doesn't show a arrow on it to. I can double click that, and it will bring up the item in it.
You know, I did see that Big Sur was showing things a little bit differently. Can you show me, can you share your screen for a second? Because I did see the other day when I saw someone's, probably yours, Finder, that I didn't see the arrows, and I did think, wow, that's missing. Yeah, you're right, and I did unfortunately notice that. Whoops,
Sorry.
that's okay.
That
So
was a
go
mistake.
up to that top arrow then, and go up to where it says software to Baka, or yeah.
Downloads.
I can't believe they did this. This is thank you for showing this, because I did notice that the arrows were missing, and that is such a
You know, Deanna,
yeah.
actually my old computer it shows the same thing. Now, maybe I've done something strange, but it doesn't show the arrows either on that.
Oh, so
item.
then, okay, so then let
Diane,
me
I
a-
have Big Sur and I have folders with
You-
arrows.
Do you have errors? Oh, so then this might be a Bill thing. Okay, phew. I remember you showed your screen last week and I thought, oh, they took the arrows off of this view, which seems strange. Okay, so let me go into your preferences to see if maybe you changed that. So go up to the top where it says Finder, go to View. And let's see if there's something you changed. So go to very bottom View, Show View Options. One up, two up.
Oh.
Yeah, there. Icon size, list and view, group by name, comments version. There's nothing. There's nothing there that seemed to be missing. Show icon preview. Go the very bottom one. Let me see if perchance. Yeah, show icon preview. Did you, the bottom one, the bottom choice? Yeah, I don't know. Nothing made a difference there. All right, so go ahead and close it because that wasn't it. I'll have to do I'll have to Google search. I don't know. That's just been a feature that's always been there, so I don't know why it would be missing. And
It's not important.
Yeah.
It's the only item I've got in the whole situation. But
yeah.
I don't know if I go to documents, it doesn't have them either.
Yeah, so it's somehow your list view. I assumed, oh wow, Big Sur dropped them because you were sharing your screen, but if Barbara sees them, does everyone
Oh, I'm
else
sorry.
see the little arrows? Then it's something that's happening in his computers. Anyone else who have Big Sur? Barbara says she sees them. Anyone else who has Big Sur? You
I
see the
have,
little-
Mark, this is Marcia. I have Big Sur and I did find folders and I don't see the arrows.
Well, then let me, if two of you don't see them, then suddenly it's a bigger, let me do a quick Google search. There you go. Missing arrows in list view finder window Big Sur. And so basically I just write words of how to restore missing expansion triangles in the software. So I guess it is a thing. Yeah, drop down arrows missing. Go under none. Yeah, when it's the most basic, if okay, so sort by and arrange by. So go to your Finder. Oh, did you stop sharing?
Did I? Yes.
Yes, can you share
I'm
again?
sorry.
Please share again so we can
Oh,
fix it.
sure. Okay,
I can't fix it on mine.
I got it. Hang on a minute. share, okay.
All right, so go up to your arrange by. So did
Oh,
you go back to that same place? No, go to the right. Yeah, keep going to the right. Yeah, there, but to the right, the next icon, the one that I showed you before. No, move one to the right. Yeah, that one. Click on that one and say none.
Ah,
There you go.
thank you.
You're welcome. So you had it set up where, yeah. So that's why I said originally, let's clear that up. So everyone else who doesn't see it, can you show what you just did? Guys, go to this. Can you show again what you did, Bill?
Yes.
So
Move
so
to-
Marcia, move to
Yep.
the farther right
Oh,
again.
this one
That
here.
little icon, the first one I showed you earlier today, click on that one. Yep. It's got like 2 rows of circles and lines. Click on that. And some people have something selected here and then weird things happen. So just click on none. Okay.
Yep.
And if you click on none, now things should go back to normal.
Yep.
All right, so now you can go ahead and click on one of those arrows. The arrows are more subtle than in mine. My arrow is a big triangle. The arrow in the Big Sur is just a little, they're called caret icons. And it looks like you have a lot of folders with nothing in them, which is interesting. Is this your downloads? Okay. Oh, one thing is inside of software. Now, I don't know if it's because this is your way of organizing things, which is fine. But when you download stuff, it's going to download itself just loosely, so to say. Can you go over to the left to your documents where it says downloads, go up to documents? On your sidebar. No, on your sidebar, you're
Oh,
showing us
sidebar, sure.
downloads. Can you click really quickly on no? So here you have stuff, okay, which is, again, it seems you need to go to the none. So go up to that same on the right,
Okay.
go to that and say none. Yeah.
Why don't I have a document?
Okay. And then go to like applications, go to do it to each of the main folders so that
Got
it loses that thing. Yeah. So now go to each one that you're looking at in column mode. So go to the list view mode, unless you're looking, wait. You're looking at them in column mode. So now in none, now you have to say none in each one. List view mode first, list view mode first. You're in column.
Ah, okay, do it again. Sorry.
List view mode. There we go. And now none. And now go to the right to the arrange by and say none.
That's okay.
And then go to your
Recent
recent,
column.
this by view mode. Yeah, none. And then documents,
Did
that one you already did. Applications, you already did it because I see little arrows there. I see little arrows there. Okay, so basically now, and then maybe your pictures folder. You didn't go to the pictures folder.
Yeah.
Pictures,
Pictures, oh, yes.
and then go to list view,
Okay.
and then none. And that one was already set in none. Okay, there we go. So that cleared it up. Now, that said, since you're in Big Sur, can you go back to stay here? This is fine. This is watching things in list view, you guys. Okay, since you're in Big Sur and about half of or 5 of you guys are in Big Sur, let me show you the difference. Can you move now to column view? Because you're wait, actually one more thing. One more thing here. One more thing here. In list view, which is where you're at. See how he has like an empty white kind of bar on the right side? There we go, Doran. I see your iPad now, and I just let it in. So see how I see he has a white column that looks kind of empty on the right side. Can you go and single click on any item that you have there on your, click on that. And over here, you see how you see a little preview of that icon? Go ahead and click on the one right under that or right above that. There's that little preview. So how is that showing up? Because in the view, he said show preview. So go up to view, the day that we said show tab, show this, show that way at the top in the Finder. So see under show sidebar, it used to say show preview, like hide sidebar, hide preview, go up, 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 two choices up. That's hide sidebar, should always be on because we want to see our sidebar. He also has hide preview. If you turned on your preview, now go ahead and click hide preview and you'll see how that preview goes away. Click on hide preview, see how that goes away? So now you're not seeing a preview of your file. If you want to be able to see that preview, go up and go to view and turn on show preview. Okay, so I'll do that. And if you do that, then you can click on things and see little preview. So go ahead and click on a folder. When you see a folder, all it shows you is a preview of the folder. That's all it shows you, right? If you click on an actual image, so maybe click on the one that says Air Force or whatever, then you see little previews of your files. Okay, now that's your choice. If you have a big screen, you might be able to show preview because you have space galore. But if you're in an air book, maybe you don't have too much screen, maybe you don't want to use up all that space seeing a preview, then plan B for you when you want to see something, if you don't see the preview, is when you select something like he just did, hit the space bar. Can you hit the space bar? And that shows you a quick preview of that image. Now hit the space bar again and it goes down. So now move to the next one. Hit the space bar. So for those of you who don't want to show a preview there all the time, maybe your computer is getting old and slow, that showing the preview all the time takes up some physical space, and it also takes up a little bit of computer power to have to put out a little image of that file all the time. So if you hide the preview, then you can always take a quick gander at what's in that photo by hitting the space bar and getting a quick preview of it that way. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
And you can have both the preview on and want to see it bigger. Like, what are those little things there on that thing? You hold a space bar. Oh, it's people running on an airstrip, right? Because it is tiny, and you, unless you know the photo, you might not know what it is. So then hit the space bar. Oh, it was people running. Great. Hit the space bar again and it'll go down. Or once it's open, can you go ahead and hit the space bar one time? Now use your arrow keys and then you go to the next one down. So go to the keyboard and find your arrows and hit the down arrow. And now that's the next one, and hit the down arrow, and that's the next one. And now you're done, hit the space bar and you're down. So you've seen what's in those three. See how you went up and down those four? Okay, so you guys, are you able to do this yourselves?
Diane, I don't have a documents
All right.
in that left column.
All right, so I'm going to help you in a second. I just want to make sure people are practicing what I told Bill to practice. Let's go ahead and I'm going to stop your share. Thank you so much for sharing your window, Bill. And I'm just going to show you really quickly what I just shared myself, and then I'll help you,
okay.
Barbara. Okay, so give me a second. So this is what mine, which is Catalina, looks like. And if I turn on
You don't
the
either.
view, show
Mine looks like
preview,
yours.
show preview right there. There's my preview. And as soon as I click on something, it shows me a little preview of it. Click on something, shows me a little preview of it. Click on something, shows me a little preview. Now, if I instead wanted to see this big, I can also hit the space bar, and there it gives me a little idea of what it is that's being seen. You're only seeing a piece of it because I'm sharing only half my screen. Okay. So I can have this on show preview or hide preview, and then just use this to see what's in there. Okay. Just use the space bar to see what's in there. So as long as people get that, I'm going to stop my share. Can you show me your screen, please, Marcia? Not Marcia, Barbara.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm
yeah.
gonna lower Bill's hand, and I see
Thank you.
that Barbara has it. Okay, so yeah.
See, my documents is on iCloud like yours.
Yeah, but you do see it. You see it under under the iCloud.
Yeah,
I
but
thought you said it
does-
was missing.
it doesn't, I don't show it under,
Doesn't matter where you show it technically, as long as you see it, you see it. It shows up in a different place. Your document is under the iCloud, and that's all it is. So click on documents and there you'll see what's in your
oh,
document.
okay.
I mean,
I-
technically, as far as you're concerned, until I told you that that meant it was in the cloud, you didn't even notice a difference. You thought it was in your computer. Technically, this is in your computer. It's, you asked last class something that I wanted to be clear about. I'm thinking I didn't end up answering. You said, so when I'm not connected to the internet, do I not see these files? I remember you asking that, and I'm thinking that I probably didn't very clearly answer that question. Here's the deal. All of you who have your documents and desktop in the cloud, there's one beautiful thing about this process, that although this is one file and one file only, that's in the cloud, in your phone, in your iPad, or in your computer, if you are disconnected from the internet, you still see them here in your computer, because it's one file, but it's still in your computer. So it's taking up space in your computer, in a way, meaning if you disconnect, you have an iMac, so you probably won't. But if this was a laptop, those of you who have a laptop and your stuff is in the cloud, if you disconnect your computer from power and take it over to Starbucks or to a friend's house or to, New York when you visit your grandchildren or whatever, you can still work on your files. Please pay attention to what I'm going to say. Your files are still in your computer. You can still add another chapter to your novel. But until you go into a Wi-Fi connection again, it won't be speaking to the cloud or to your phone. So say that you on your computer write another chapter to your novel when you're camping. There's no Wi-Fi. You open the novel, you write another chapter. If someone were sitting at your house and was able to open your your iCloud then and there, or if you have another computer at your house, that novel will not have a new chapter and you're out camping. So for a month at home, nothing's happening, but on your laptop, you're working on your novel and you've written a whole 3 chapters. When you get back a month later, or when you go on the way home into a motel and you connect to Wi-Fi, boom, that's when the file connects back to the cloud and updates. And now that same information is in the cloud and in your phone and in your iPad. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
the iPad, the phone, the computers, the laptops, all of them connect through the cloud when you have Wi-Fi running. And so that's why you might be at that point. If for some reason you forget your computer, you come home, yeah, you've lost that novel, those 3 chapters, because you wrote them, but you lost your computer. They didn't connect to the cloud because there was no Wi-Fi. Thus, the cloud does not know you wrote it. The moment you connect again, that writing happens. Okay.
So if I go to my daughter's and I don't have my computer, I can go on her computer, go to my cloud.
Yeah.
And get that document.
Get that document, write on it, upgrade it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. By the time you get home, that'll be at home. Your document will be all
I forgot
updated.
about that. I think I set it up that way.
Mhm.
And I totally forgot. So I can find my stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. So Julie,
She always wants a recipe or something when I'm there and I don't,
perfect. Go to your cloud. By the way, those of you who took my first class here, I showed you how to go to the cloud. So I haven't showed this group how to go to the cloud yet. And there's some of you who didn't see it. So I'm going to show that really quickly. But
I
for
probably
now,
forgot.
let me ask Julie, you have a question?
Yes, I do. On my downloads, I realized that I have the PC transfer. When we bought my MacBook Pro, the fellow transferred everything from my PC. And
it's
this
still
was
there.
June of 2018. Can I delete this? And if so, how do I do that?
Yeah, go ahead and share your screen so people can see what you're talking
Thank you,
about.
Diane.
You're welcome. So now we're talking about the things we're finding in the downloads. And this is an example of, it's kind of like doing archaeology
Dig.
dig, yes. And some of you guys are like, yeah, no, things are fine. And others are like, well, look what I just found. Okay, so can you go down? So these are the things she found. It says 20 items, but one of them is this folder that's PC transfer, right? And notice when she clicks on it, on the right side, hold on, let me just show something about it. Many things there tell you their size, but do you notice that folders don't tell you their sizes? Only files tell you their sizes. So there's a way to trigger for everyone who wants to know all the sizes, including your folder sizes. You can change that in the view options. So let me go up to the very, very top view. Yeah, in the Finder, and head down to show view options, which is like one of the last choices. Yeah, right there. And then you can say calculate all sizes. So at the very bottom, there's 3 choices. Click calculate all sizes. And then that's it. Now you can say use as defaults so that all your folders always calculate.
How do I get out of this?
Yeah, go ahead and there's that, click on the, click on that thing that says desktop. Yeah, you click on that thing that you're trying to get out of. Click on it.
Just
Click
here?
on- Yes, just click on it to turn it on. And then
Ah.
there's a little gray window. Okay,
What's happening? I've got all this stuff across the top.
okay,
now.
stop. Do you
Yeah.
see it saying desktop at the top? This little window, do you see saying desktop, or do you have Zoom controls in the way? Do you have Zoom controls in the way? Can you see a little gray zero, a gray circle? Do you see the gray circle up at the top above the word stack by?
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
because you've got,
There we go.
there we go, we moved it. Okay, now close it. There we
Yeah.
go. It's just that Zoom controls land right there and it's
Yeah.
hard then to see it. Okay, so now now look at what happened. Look at the class files download folder and there it is, 190 megabytes. So now you see, and now you see, guys, that in the PC transfer, can you click on the folder that we're talking about? Just select it. Just click on it. Click on PC transfer. Just click on the words PC transfer. Move your mouse, put it above where it says PC transfer, one up.
I
And
did. I'm
select,
right.
click. There we go. That's called selecting, right? So you give it a single click.
I did.
Now,
There was just a delay, I guess.
it was a delay. Got it. Okay, so now look, guys, on the right side under size, now it tells us 1.5 gigabytes. Okay, before we couldn't see the size of that folder. So those of you guys who couldn't see the size of that folder, go up to the view options and click on calculate all sizes. I'll show it again slower. When I try to show things to people, I try to do them a little bit slower, but when you guys do them, you're doing them fast because you're with it. And I'm like, wait, as a teacher, when you're demoing, you have to let it live a little bit so people can catch up. So now 158, 1 gig, 1.5 gigs. So even though she doesn't have hundreds of files in her downloads, she has almost, a gig and a half worth of stuff. Now, all of this, if you look at the dates, I'm teaching you how to use why do we want a list view? Because a list view gives us all this information. If you keep looking where it says, can you point with your mouse where I'm talking about? I'm talking about the 158 gigabytes. Then if you keep moving to the right, it tells you it's a folder and then it tells you the dates. So June 2018, June 2018, June 2018. You see that?
Yep.
So it allows you to find out stuff about this folder. And in this case, if all of this has been brought in, the emails that she brought in 2018 have been brought in, and the Firefox bookmarks have been brought into, and she doesn't need them anymore, then that's a ton of stuff she can get rid of. In fact, it's the email export that holds a gig and a half of stuff. It's probably photos and stuff in your email export. Now, before you delete this, when you go to your email, do you have all your past emails? It's all fine. It's all there.
Well, I have the the Seagate external drive, so I assume they're all in there, right?
When you open your email to read emails, do you see old emails? Is all I'm asking. When the guy did the PC transfer, did he actually did you feel like all your emails, if you can
Yes.
remember back to 2019, it was all there, then if it did happen, then yeah, this is a folder you can now get rid of. And the good news you just mentioned, and guys, this is important. I'm having her delete something that we don't know. Supposedly the person who set up his computer transferred it and it did it correctly. But when you ask me, Diana Musacchio, I don't know the person. I don't know if he did it right. I'm just assuming he did. So we're going to say, sure, get rid of it. But worst case scenario, if if my choice was wrong, if the guy didn't do his job right and he didn't install the emails, worst case scenario, she can go into her time machine of the minute before right now that I'm going to have her delete it. She can go in her time machine, and in her time machine, this folder will still be there. So a year from now, she can go back to November 9th, one day ahead of today, and this folder with this will be there. So it's not absolutely completely lost and gone forever because of her time machine. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
Now, given that, I feel fine saying, go ahead and get rid of it. So how do we get rid of things we don't want? Go ahead and you're going to get rid of the entire folder. Thus, the folders that are inside will go with it. Give
So
it
I
a
don't need to highlight all three?
No, because the
Right.
folder holds that stuff.
Okay,
If you want to delete only the Firefox bookmarks, then you would just do that. But if you delete the PC transfer, can you before you do that, can you go back and switch that little arrow so people can really see? If you switch that arrow, that's the folder. Click on the arrow again. That stuff is inside of it. See, it goes down one level. It's inside of it. Only
Yeah.
those two folders is inside of it. So
okay.
now right click on that folder and say move to trash. Boom. Now, guess what? That's it's 1.5 gigabytes of stuff that went to the trash. That said, that did not help her computer yet because now it's still living in the trash.
In the trash can,
Okay. So everyone find one thing that you don't need and move it to the trash. And if not, you might already have something, but my goal is to have everyone have something in the trash. Find something you don't need. And if you don't find anything you don't need, then just wait. We'll create some stuff that you don't need. But now what I want you to do is to open your trash. So see how she has her dock on the right side. Now, when you're accustomed to something, it's very hard to change. So I'm not going to have you change it. But anyone who's wondering of all the places you should put your dock on a Mac, don't use your right side because the Mac uses the right side of the screen to put a lot of icons. It uses that a ton. Like the time machine the other day, it assumes people don't use the right side of their screen. So if you're at all wondering about moving your dock, put it on the left or at the bottom, but not on the right. But when you're having it there forever, that makes sense to you. Please keep it there. I'm just warning people it's not a good configuration to start with, right? Okay, so now click on the trash. She's clicking on her trash, which for those you have the regular dock, it'll be on the far right. And now another window just opened. And in this window, she sees a lot of screenshots. They're October, September, August. So they're kind of going backwards order of date modified. Scroll down and you should see somewhere, there it is. Her PC transfer folder is in there. See that?
Yep.
So there's also another zipped file. There's some other stuff in there. As long as you think you don't need any of that, then you can empty the trash. But wait. That thing that I told you guys to put in the trash, suddenly you discover it was so important, so terribly important. How could I have messed up? I did not mean to put something in the trash, right? Because maybe that happened to one of you guys. I just told you to put something in the trash. What if you really wanted to keep it? Let's go back to right click on the PC transfer and say put back. Okay, so hold it for a minute. Okay. And there you go. She put it back. So she took it out of the trash and look where it's back in her downloads. See that? So everyone, whatever you put in the trash, that thing that I told you to just please put something in the trash, please do it. Now, if you don't trust me, now you see that you can put it back. So grab anything that you have in your downloads, even if you want it, and put it in the trash so that you can do this thing of putting it back. Okay, so now go ahead and put this back in the trash since Truly didn't want it in the trash. So you did want it in the trash. So let's right click and move to the trash again. Okay, now open your trash. And now scroll to find it. And now don't put it back, but right click and show people what I mean. Right click and hover over the word put back. See, you just can save anything that's in the trash by going back to put back. She does not want to save this one. So she's not going to click again on put back. But notice that there's a couple of other choices right under there. There's a choice called delete immediately or empty trash. Now let me explain the difference. In the past, and those of you who have older computers don't have this choice, okay? So don't ask about it in the sense that older computers don't have this choice. When you want to empty the trash, you could empty only the entire trash all at the same time. But now for a couple of years, I'm talking about, you know, Sierra, like Sarah or Bill's old computer, that kind of stuff don't have it. But for quite a few years now, you can say, well, I'm not sure if the rest of the stuff in this trash is ready to be gotten rid of, but I'm pretty sure I don't want this one. Why? Because all of this is still in your computer. And you know, she knows that this one file is 1.5 gigabytes. This is humongous. So she doesn't want to sit there and look through all the other hundreds of things that are in her trash. She knows she wants to get rid of this immediately. So see right under put back, there's a choice to delete immediately. So if you decide, well, yeah, I don't have time to check and see that everything else is correctly there. I don't want to empty my trash completely. So I'm just going to delete this one folder immediately. So go ahead, Julie, and let's delete immediately.
Okay.
This is unfixable. Watch. This item will be deleted immediately. You can't undo this action. This is really important for you guys to see. Once you delete, when you send things to the trash, you can still put it back. You can have it live in your computer forever. But once you delete it completely from the trash, that's it. It's gone and lost forever unless you pay like thousands of dollars to people who do recovery from hard drives and stuff like that, which is possible, which is why if you're doing, you know, nasty things on your computer and you trash them right before the cops knock your door down, don't worry, someone can recover that stuff. But you and or I, regular people, can't recover it. Okay, so go ahead now and say actual delete.
Cool.
Okay,
Thank you.
Diana, I have
now
two
it's
questions.
truly gone. Now, by the way, if you guys, 1 second, you see that in the trash, she has 28 items. Some of you guys have been trashing things forever and you never emptied your trash. So you might have 2,000 things in your trash and you're like, oh, I didn't even know my computer was full of all this stuff. So if so, you could also empty everything. Can you go and show at the top right of this window, there's a little empty button. And I'm not asking you to click it if you're not sure, but if you are sure, you can also empty your entire trash from here. So you can go and click on that empty and it says you can't undo this action. If you're sure, say empty trash. If you're not sure, say cancel. And we can keep checking these things before you actually completely empty the trash. Go ahead and say cancel for now.
Yeah.
All right.
I have what does PNG mean?
Okay. Yeah, give me a second. We're going to talk about file extensions. Right now, I still want to answer questions about the movement and the operation of all of this. Then what each file is, we're going to get into that.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Patricia, you had a question? Can you keep
Yes,
showing?
Diana.
Keep showing your screen, Julie, in case it's something about what you just did. Patricia, what's your question?
Yes, can you explain the path that we have right on the bottom? I understand that Macintosh HD is a hard drive, and then we are working on downloads right now. And then I don't understand users, and then I don't understand the other file that it says my name.
All right.
which is-
Okay, so actually, Julie, can you close the trash window so that we can see what she's asking about? Go up to this window and close that one. Yeah, so she's asking about the path bar. So you guys, do you see that she has a path laid out for her? And that path is telling you the location of a certain, whatever you're selecting, in this case is a folder, whatever you're selecting, where is it on your computer? So let me go backtrack a little bit and explain. Every single file that you have in your computer lives in one place only, unless you've duplicated it or something, but every plane has place. And that place has an address. Imagine, Patricia, that you have an address. Oh, hold on. Yolanda saying, Deanna, I got confused. If I delete from my trash, I can see it anymore in my time machine. Yes. So backtracking to Yolanda is, if that thing that she just got rid of from her trash, if she now it's gone from her computer, it's totally gone. Her computer has just gained a 1.5 gig size space, right? But if she truly made a huge mistake and she has a time machine, she can go back into the time machine and check on the date of, today in the morning or yesterday, and she will have it in the time machine. Okay, so that's just a question. And then can you please say again how to find the amount of what's inside the folder? Yeah, you did that rather quickly, Julie. Do you mind doing it one more time? So you have to have a window open like she has. Can you go up to the view up at the top by the apple? Okay, so on the very far left of the apple, it should say Finder. So you should be in your Finder, right?
Yep.
And to do that, click on your desktop somewhere or on this window. Then go all the way to View. And then way at the bottom, and then just hover. Don't click on it yet. Go to show view options, but just hover there. That, okay, can everyone find that? You need to go to the show view options. And I just changed this and leave it changed for my entire computer, which I'm going to show you how to do that. She closed hers too quickly and didn't do. So I go to show view options. Okay. Now click on it. And you get this little long thing that I had told Bill earlier to work with. And in this case, when you go to the very bottom, she already turned it on. It says calculate all sizes. See that? Can you uncheck that? You can, in fact, if you can move your window over a little bit, you can see now how the folders will have no size. Can you grab your little downloads and drag it over a little bit? Because right now your window is right in front of the sizes. So can you grab this little window that you just clicked on, calculate all sizes from the top and move, yes, move it over a little bit. Keep going. There we go. So now you see the sizes. Okay. I just see how underneath, see how now the class files to download folders have no sizes again. Now go down and click on the calculate all sizes. And there you go. See how the folders do now have a size? Can you show what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about with your mouse? On the window that's right underneath your class files to download folder now have sizes. Uncheck that. Okay, now
Uncheck the
uncheck
calculate.
it. Yeah. And see how now her folders have little dots. Can you put your mouse to what I'm showing? They have little dot. They don't have sizes. If there's a folder, it doesn't bother to go in and see what size is in there. Now click it on again. So now the computer goes in and reads the total of everything that's inside of that folder. That said, when you first turn it on, it takes a little while. Your computer has to do the calculation before the number appears. But once it appears, if you want that always on, then can you go further down? This is what you didn't do last time, right? Down from calculate all sizes and use as defaults. Say that, click on that one time. Good. So now all the times you open a window, all your folders will be calculated for you. Okay, so now you can close that window. So that was an answer to Deanna's question. Now, the path, which was Patricia's question, is down at the bottom in the status bar. So can you go there? Okay, so the downloads, you're fine. Where your mouse was perfect. Yeah, right there. So she has her downloads folder selected in the sidebar, right? Can you point to this downloads folder? She's got her downloads folder selected. Okay, so you go down to this path bar, go down to the path bar, cool. And it says and we read it backwards. So go to the very last thing. Her downloads folder is inside of the name Julie. And Julie is inside of users, and users is inside of the Macintosh hard drive. So now I'll explain what these users and Julie are, but I'm just telling you how to read the address. Now, let me give you an example. When you say where you live, you say, I live in 123 State Street, Santa Barbara, California, USA, planet Earth, right? If that is your house and that is your
Name.
Name, right? So even at the very beginning, it says, yeah, Patricia Carranza lives in this address, because maybe there's 5 other people who live in that house, right? So it starts with the file name, Patricia Carranza, the person we're looking for, right? In this case, we're not looking for a file, we're looking at downloads. Can you go click on any other one of the files that you have here instead of a folder? Just click on anything, just not a folder, but a file, is anything, yeah. Yep. Okay, so now look at the very, very bottom in the path bar. Names, dates, and text is the name of the file. So that would be equivalent to your name, right? On an address folder. Lives in the downloads folder. That would be the State 123 State Street. Then the Julie would be the city, Santa Barbara. Users would be the state, California, right? Macintosh would be the country, USA. So this is just the address of where this file lives in your computer. Okay. Now, can you go to some other folder, go to the documents folder, Now her documents folder also lives in the hard drive. For some of you guys, now your path ends in the cloud. So it's like, yes, this file lives in my documents folder, which lives in, oh, the cloud. It doesn't live anymore in Julie users Macintosh, right? So for those of you who have things in the cloud, right after this, it just tells you cloud, and that's it. It doesn't have users and Julie. That's the big difference. All right. So now let's go ahead and can you open one of these folders maybe and click on something that's in those? We're not looking inside of this material. We're just looking at where they live. So now click on one of those guys. All right. So now Dan and Julie's travel plans lives inside of Julie and Dan travel folder, which lives inside of documents, which lives inside of Julie. So see how I'm reading that path backwards? So it's basically telling you exactly where you live, like a phone number. You know, phone numbers are, they have an area code, and then they have a city code, and then they have a, you know, position code. So by the time you're done, no one has this, you know, a string of 9 numbers or something like that. No one has the same phone number. And this is exactly the same. It's the path of where things live. So now I'm going to thank you for your sharing. I'm going to continue explaining what that Julie and that users and that Macintosh hard drive is, but I'm going to go ahead and do it with my computer because Julie's been sharing for a long time. So thank you so much, Julie.
Do I unshare or did you unshare me?
I already unshared you.
Okay. Thank you
Before
for
I-
your help.
Yeah, before I go and show this what this Macintosh hard drive is, I just want to make sure whether Cassie and Marcia's hands are up. If they're quick answers, I'll answer them quickly in case you've gotten lost on something I said. If it's something totally new, then I'll continue with Patricia's question. So Cassie, what's your question?
Oh, I figured it out myself. So it was about emptying the, putting it back. So
Okay.
I fooled around
Cool.
and got the right icon to do it.
Good. I
Okay,
took off
so-
your hand. And Marcia, what is your question? A quick or a?
It can wait, Deanna. Thank you so much.
Okay, cool. So then let me continue with this and then we're going to take our break. So I'm going to share this screen with you guys from this computer that has stuff just like Julie was showing, the stuff on this computer. The downloads are in the Macintosh hard drive. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so it's easier to see the downloads in the Macintosh hard drive, but it's in the downloads, SPCC teacher, users, Macintosh hard drive. My documents are also in my hard drive. My desktop is also in my hard drive. So what is this Macintosh hard drive users SBCC teacher all about? All right. So those of you who have stuff in the cloud, you can only get to this by clicking on your downloads. So click on your downloads so that you see the Macintosh hard drive. The rest of you can be anywhere to see this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take you somewhere that the only way you can get to this quickly is because you turned on this path. In the past, when you didn't have this path turned on, it would have been so hard to get to what I'm about to show you. Now, why? Because if you go into this place that I'm about to show you, you could mess things up. So if you're not very sure, just watch, because this is a place, there's a reason it's hidden from you. And it's hidden from you because if you get rid of anything from the downloads, hey, it's you getting rid of stuff in your downloads. If you get rid of anything from the documents, hey, it's you just you. But if you get rid of anything that's in the hard drive and in the users, you could mess up the system and this computer stops working well. So if you're going to do this that I'm asking you to do, make sure that you're comfy with what you're clicking on, because I don't want you to trash anything that's important. Basically, refrain from trashing or moving things around. Just watch when you do open this. So I'm going to double click on this word Macintosh hard drive. So double click on it. And now we've reached the core of the computer. When you double click the Macintosh hard drive, this is what the computer comes with. It comes with a folder that says applications, a folder that says library, a folder that says system, a folder that says users. So you all have those 4 folders. Yeah, that's what's in your Macintosh hard drive. It's like the computer, your hard drive comes partitioned into these choices. Applications, if you open this little arrow, is your application. So that one's easy to figure out. Library, and you don't want to get rid of any of them. This would not be the way to get rid of them right now. Library has a ton of stuff that you've never heard of. You have no idea what it's for. Don't get rid of a single one of these, because this is what makes your applications run. System, this is stuff that makes your application run. There's another application, there's another library, but this is for the system now. Don't touch that. So don't touch any of that ever, which is why you don't want to get into the Macintosh hard drive very often. Just kind of, this is more like a tour through what's inside your computer. And then the last one, which is users. And this one matters because remember that all the paths have been saying document is inside of SPCC teacher, inside of users, inside of Macintosh hard drive. So now the only one that I want us to open up and look at to is users. Open up users. The majority of you under users only have one thing and shared. You have your name and then you have a shared folder, right? That's 90% of you guys. Now I happen to have a user called SPCC teacher, a user called Santiago Bailey Musacchio, and a user called Diana, your mom. Remember that I said you can use your computer as separate computers? This computer, this laptop is set up. I have a little one section of it where I use it to teach, which is what I'm doing right now. My son, who this used to be my main computer many years ago, it's a 2012, some years ago, I gave it to my son to use for school. So he can sign in as himself. This is my son's name. And his files are in there and his stuff is in there. And it's all, unrelated, untouched. It's in a completely different computer. So you have to sign in differently. And then I have one where I said, hey, I still need some stuff on that computer for myself, even though I gave it to you. So I made myself one called Diana, your mom. So these are 3 users. What does that mean? When I turn on this computer, I have to choose. Am I going to show up as SPCC teacher today? Am I going to use this computer as Santiago Bailey Musacchio, or am I going to use this computer as Diana, your mom? I would venture to say that only a couple of you guys have this set up where you have different users. Most of you are just you and shared. So let's go ahead and open the little arrow of you.
Diana,
Yes. You have other users too, because you have your sons.
yeah, but it doesn't show in here. All it showed what showed on mine was, so the 2 sons were not here under the users, but what mine showed was like previously relocated, all of those were the ones that came out instead of the names of the people.
Well, remember that your sons just moved stuff out of your computer because it was so full. So I have a feeling maybe they got rid of their accounts. I'll have you share in a minute.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Another thing that's happening here is that since I am the main user of this computer, I have access if I want to Santiago's stuff and to Diana, your mom's stuff. But usually the way you set this up is that no one can access the other person's things. If this say is a computer shared by say roommates, well, then this would be locked and this would be locked to me because I wouldn't have the password to them. I happen to have set them all up, so I have passwords for all of them, so they all show up as available to me. But most of the times, the whole point is that you want to keep things private from someone else, so then they'd be locked. Right now, none of these are locked. They're showing as open.
Diana, I have a question also when you finish.
Okay, so let me first open SPCC Teacher because that's what I'm trying to get to when you open this up. This is your stuff. Your applications, your desktop, your documents, which if your desktop and documents are in the cloud, they won't be here. They'll be, you will only see applications and downloads. You might see movies and music and pictures in public, but some of this might be up in the cloud depending on where your stuff is. Okay, so I'm going over here and double clicking on my computer that's in the cloud. On my other side, I have my other computer where my stuff is in the cloud. And when I get to the Macintosh hard drive users under my name, I'm only seeing downloads, movies, music, pictures, and public. That's it. That's all I'm seeing here in the one that has my stuff in the cloud. Okay. Now, there you go. And so now, if I look into these downloads and open up, oh, same thing that I've been looking at all this time over there happens because this is that downloads folder is way inside all of this. Okay. So that's why that is the internal stuff that goes on. So now if I go into this downloads and you say, well, why is this thing saying center downloads SPCC Teacher users Macintosh? Because if I click on this icon, Pexels file is inside of my downloads folder, which is inside of SPCC Teacher, me, the user. How many users do I have? Well, I have 3, and which user is using it? It's SPCC Teacher user, and all of our stuff is in the Macintosh hard drive. If instead I go into, I'm going to close that, into Diana's your mom computer, see how it's like saying you can't go. This is Diana's your mom computer, and that's not you according to this computer. So let me see, it won't let me see this stuff. How about Santiago Bailey Musacchio? Well, it's not going to let me see that stuff because it's Santiago stuff and he has privacy. Since I know the passwords to all of these, I can go into all of these, but you can't from here see them because that's the whole point. They're private, right? You can't just sneak in here and look at other users' computer stuff. You can only look at your stuff. Okay, but if I were to be able to click on this folder, it would tell me that it's in applications, it's in Diana, your mom user Macintosh hard drive. So hopefully you understand, it's like it's a different city. You have an applications folder here, but it's in a different user's house. Okay, versus this one is in my house in SPCC Teacher. Okay, now, unless you have any big questions about this, I would really like this not to be something you play around or touch too much, because if you move things around right now and move this into that, or you can really mess up your computer. So hopefully you can close it out, back, click on documents or downloads here, and then you're out of that mode. So now you're just back in knowing where things are, but you can't mess things up because you're not really accessing your system. All right, questions about this that I just shared?
Deanna, may
Hold on. I know that there's other people who have been raising their hands. Okay, so if your hand is raised about something else, okay, then this is not the time to ask about that something else. Right now, ask me questions about this that I just shared, the location of things on your hard drive.
Diana, when I mentioned about on the shared, so I know I had 2. Did they disappear? And all of this, I remember you said don't just touch anything, but if it says previously relocated, I cannot delete any of those.
Okay, you had asked me before about the previously relocated icon, and I wanted to talk about that one for a second. in my desktop, I have a relocated items, which you
Uh-huh.
had asked me, 2 classes ago when you saw that, you asked me, because I know that you have those folders. So if anyone finds a relocated items folder in their computer, and you'll find it in your desktop usually, but you might have moved it and it might be deep like deep in here, I believe, is where you have your previously relocated. I'm trying to remember where it is. In fact, let me click on this folder and find out where it lives. It lives in shared. Okay, that's where it lives. It lives in your shared folder. There we go. Previously relocated items, that stuff there. What's happening is that so I'm just going to close it because that's what she's seen.
Yeah, that's mine too.
When every time you update from one, look at how many of them I have. Every time you update operating systems, okay? So whenever you update your operating systems, your computer has things that it can't figure out where to put anymore because they're not necessary anymore. So instead of getting rid of them for you, it puts them in here and it says what are relocated items, and they're basically, when you read this, these are items that have no place in this new system, but it leaves them here to show you, and it basically changed some configurations and stuff like that. So basically there's nothing you can do about it. It's stuff that this computer can't use anymore in this new OS. So when I went from Sierra to whatever, there's stuff that just the system doesn't use anymore. So it puts them in there and it doesn't need them anymore. So it's just warning you that there's stuff that's not there anymore. If you don't want them, you can just get rid of them. Like, it's stuff that you didn't even know. It's not your files, it's computer files that your computer does not use anymore. Okay. And it's a good one to get rid of, to empty up some space. So right now on my desktop, I have it on my desktop. If you can see, I have one of those folders from when I moved up to Catalina, and it's just pointing to something saying, hey, just so you know, if there's stuff that Catalina, what I had before was Mojave that Catalina doesn't need. So letting you know, that's all that is. Okay. So you can ignore it for now. I'm going to stop my share.
Before you go, where did you go to get relocated?
It's in the share of the users, but don't do anything about it. I'll show you a better way later. I don't want you guys deleting anything from inside of the system folders, which is what that is. So just leave it where it is. It's not occupying space. It's a warning that there's stuff that when you upgrade it aren't necessary anymore. Don't open them from there. I'm going to show you when we come back from break, I'm going to show you another way to look at the stuff that we're looking at right now and how to handle it. Paul has been patiently with a hand up, which if it's about this, I want to know what the question is.
That's okay. Do you want, let's do this after the break, Diane?
Well, but is it about this? Because if it's about this,
well, yeah, it's about, so can I show you on my computer? Well, let me,
yeah.
I'm seeing, here, let me show, when I go into my hard drive, I'm seeing applications, library, systems, and users, but I'm also seeing a bunch of other files that are basically nothing.
Yeah, share your screen. Because when you shared your screen the other day, I went, oh, there's stuff in here that shouldn't be in here. Remember how I groaned audibly?
Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead and share your screen. Because guys, if you went into your system and saw something beyond what I showed you, then that's like, oh, that stuff shouldn't be there. Okay. So in his case, he has other stuff
but they're all empty. There's nothing in them. There's no side. There's no.
Yeah.
So can I just delete them?
Yeah. Now go down to users. Go down to users and open up your users. Yeah, and then go into Paul. Yeah. Okay, scroll up a bit more so people can see. In his Paul Durantini, he also has a lot of just stuff hanging out. See there? And keep going down. He also has passwords and stuff like that. He has an entitled text. It's not a bad way to hide. Scroll up a bit. so we can see the top again, all that stuff that's kind of grayed out. It's all stuff, system library kind of stuff that somehow ended up out here. Maybe from when he was learning how to use a computer,
Yeah,
maybe from some upgrades or whatever. In the past, people could access their Macintosh hard drive. In fact, look, he has it on his desktop. See how he has it on his desktop? You notice that in the new computers, the Macintosh hard drive icon doesn't show up on your desktop anymore. I think because people were getting into the system and messing it up. So now it's kind of hidden from you a little bit. It's available. I just showed you how to get to it. But because people mess things up. So at some
Yeah, how
point,
to get to it.
if your computer is got all these weird things out there running around, you shouldn't be needing them, but you can't even access them to trash them. Like if he wants to access it to trash it because it's grayed out, go click on any one of these that's grayed out. Yeah, go try to, yeah, and then see how you can't even trash it. See how there's no, like, right click. Go back to it. and
Okay,
click on
yeah.
it. There's no even move to trash there.
Oh, wait a second, hold on, let me.
It can't be opened.
You
It
don't
can't
have-
be trashed.
Okay.
They are grayed out. Yeah, you don't have permission. So those are things that
Some
you
of
have
these- some
no
of these I
access
think
to.
I think I can though. If I click on this,
No, that's the other user. So you
oh yeah, you're right.
can't. Okay, so there's nothing you can do about these files. Most of them don't weigh anything. Most of them are system files. But if your computer begins to get really wonky and do weird stuff, my computer doesn't have that stuff, but it's stuff like that that can really begin to affect the usings of your computer, because maybe there's 2 of these and there's 3 of these and your computer gets confused to which one to use. So ideally, at some point in your life, before you move on to the next operating system, you might want to do a complete clean install, which is what I am about to do with my computer,
Okay.
because things get kind of wonky like this. And what you want to do is save all your stuff that's yours in another hard drive, like this, the Time Machine, and then completely erase your computer and install the new system. And your computer will be like newborn baby, totally brain dead, and will know nothing. And then you just transfer files over instead of resetting from a time machine. Because if you're set from a time machine, all of this junk comes back. So it's a long process and I don't recommend it. But at some point, if this begins to bug you, like if you begin to really, really have problems in your computer, that's a solution, because you can't even access this stuff. It's just like not even available to you.
Okay, Diana, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, guys, let's take a
Diana?
break. If it's strictly about this, otherwise I've postponed the break for a long time.
Thank you. Really, really quick.
Yeah.
Under applications, because I need room on my computer, it says install Mac OS Sierra, and I'm already on Big Sur. Can I
Yeah.
do?
Yeah,
delete that
definitely.
install?
Yes, get rid of that. But that's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about after break. So
Thank
if you have any
you.
more questions about that, it comes later. So now,
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
break time. Someone here has to help me calculate. What's the time?
Take your break. I want to go smell my soup.
It's
Yeah,
10
it's about 10, 11:10, Diana, I think is.
break until it's let me see, it's 10:50, so till 11:05
Okay, well, let's go see Daddy.
a.m. Okay,
Let's go see Daddy. No.
so we're going to, I'm gonna mute you guys.
The dog likes it too.
That was Marcia's dog. I just muted her.
She wanted a break too.
Yeah, she's oh, come on. Okay, guys, see you guys in 15 minutes. Stretch your legs, don't sit by the computer. Go do something.
Are you ready to feel love?
Yeah.
Come on over.
Oh, thank you.
Wish I started your toes when you said, okay, we're about to go on a break.
Anybody want to sing and dance?
After the what?
To the time. But he does not know it, he's never been able to guess it, please don't even intimate it. Then we're really screwed. It's very easy to remember. Oh, you know how to get somewhere from. You know how to get.
You got my spot.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so go to the time, bring to the same place you go to check the days. Hey Siri, set timer for 10 minutes. Probably go change the- have limits. This is where fucking is very frustrated. You never do it himself. He's trying every break the password.
5 minutes every day. So, okay, what's the code?
You're right anywhere to do my, you start writing the name of the letters, J-O-A-Q. Oh, wow. Never think about that. And it's so easy for us to remember because it's only
Okay.
the password to access base screen.
Okay, so after the column. And then say how do you change it, that's it. Customize dates. Oh, so on Saturday, Sunday, given more time. Well, it's changing. It's not changing every day.
But like I forgot on a Monday, still had 6 hours. So if you preset it, at least it'll have a preset and then you
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah, he's been cheating on his computer. Oh, we forgot, which is an excuse, but he's got his computer. And he shuts his door, so it's really tough. I've asked him to tell me he's on his computer, but
I don't know why.
with a shut door.
You have to tell them to have it. Or
There's no way of monitoring computer. There's no way of monitoring. Oh. Homework comes to us, but otherwise. I don't know. I also think maybe you want to give him more time. I mean, 2 hours, 3 hours a day compared to most kids, it's pretty limited, but have them earn it some way. Like, sure. Sorry, the competition day. Hey, you want more than 3 hours? What do you want to do? Be more help around the house, do something nice. I'm gonna do something. We never really came to completion on his Spanish stuff.
I have 5 minutes to break.
Oh, sure.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna teach all day. It's not time for heavy.
Not heavy. Okay. We just talked to Skylar, don't go away. Skylar was so slow today.
Great.
I almost came back. I mean, I was halfway up the hill and he was in Dragon. I have blood. I have donated platelets at 12:30, so
I could, the other day, I could do it.
yeah, really, yeah, he made me at that point. Of course,
We actually stopped walking. So you just
Yeah.
started. Come here, puppy.
Oh.
Skylar,
He's over there. Skylar, come here, buddy.
Skylar, I have treats.
Come here, treats. He went to the bedroom. Our bedroom.
Oh.
You walked that way. And you raised your voice about Spanish.
All right, hey, Sky, where are you? Treat.
Treats. Look at that high voice.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you left your leash on.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a good reason. I got poop on his collar. I bent down to pick up a pile of wet poop, and I got poop I got the coupon is bag. Anyway, so I was like trying to get that off and call her like, oh, fuck it. I'm gonna go wash off. Yeah, you were so slow.
I'm sorry, I have very little, my brain is pretty,
Do you feel loved?
very much so. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you brought my coffee. This is the change. I smell it and I want it.
Yep.
Nice to set it up. And
Well, I responded to the person on Facebook about, it was actually an old student for like, God, 6-7 years ago. In Brazil. Anyway. And,
Oh, so in Brazil or she's?
I don't know if she's Brazilian. I don't know if I think she's still there. Yeah, she's still, she got married, but I remember the first name, her last name changed, but I remember the pictures, so. Anyway, yeah.
Because they're in Brazil, yes.
Anyway.
Alright, I need to go to the bathroom. I
goodbye.
can't, talk about cooking and time.
Fine.
I have 4 months.
You were so much a time goddess when it comes to teaching. Any other part of your life, you're not teaching, you are a goddess, you're a hawk. There you go, that's quick. So what do you got? Hour and fucking a half. Yeah. What's somebody gonna do for an hour and a half? Hour. Copy. Here I go. Ugh. All right. Oof. All right, get out of there. I need the bathroom. Get out. Shoo, shoo, out, out, out. Not you, Skyler. I need the bathroom. No, I gotta go. Suddenly, my body says it's time. I'm gonna please stop. Ugh. Body.
All right, guys, it's time. Is everyone back? All right. All right, so let me look and see if there are any messages. I have no name under user, even mine, says Cassie. Okay. Do you want to share is this your old computer or your new computer, Cassie? Oh, Cassie isn't back.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
sorry.
you're there. Oh, that's fine.
Okay, I have my old computer. If I could show you what it looks like.
Does it matter though? I mean,
I
what
don't know.
matters
I
is your
just
new
want
one.
your opinion. We don't have to do anything, but
No, okay, show me.
it
But
looks like
meaning-
this and nothing moves. and I
Okay,
can't
so,
turn it off.
no, hold on. I can't see anything. You need to share your
Oh,
screen.
okay, sorry. Okay. This,
Oh, you're not connected to Zoom on that one?
no, I can't get past this when I open.
Oh, I see what you mean. You're not, I thought you wanted to show me because you said you have no name under user, even mine, that I thought that's what you were talking about. This is your computer stuck on reset, huh?
It's stuck on something. I don't know what it is, but I can't. I'm
Yeah,
talking to you on my new computer, and this is my old computer, which is
yeah.
the Apple in a line, and that's it. I can't turn it off even. I don't know where to go.
So hold down the start,
Okay, hold on. Hold down the what?
the start button. I know it's
Yeah,
your dog.
okay.
It's okay. Just pay attention and then I'll silence you afterwards. Hold down the start
Oh,
button.
Okay, it just went black.
Yeah, and you need to hold it for a long time and then that's the restart. Yeah, okay. All right, so I muted you. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes the dog is necessary because I need to talk, but as soon as I'm done answering, I turned you off. So if you want to see anything else, then turn yourself
yeah.
on again.
Okay, I have one more thing to say to you.
Yeah.
Is that actually should not be in this class. I should have taken the very, very beginning class that I didn't know about. I'm kind of keeping up with you, so I'm going to stick with it, but I'm going to go back to the very, very beginning.
So here's the deal, Cassie, if you have time, I'm gonna mute you again so I can talk to you with that. Two things. You have the recordings. If you look in the handouts, you'll see the intro to the Mac links. And you can sit and when you have time, watch the class recordings for the first class. And then you'll learn that, which is not ideal, but hey, it's better than
That's
nothing.
fabulous. Okay, great. I was going to ask you if there's some program on my new computer that can walk me through that kind of stuff. You know, just like moving windows and like mechanical stuff. I'm really lame at.
Mhm.
But-
Well, a lot of it is just practice. And then you guys, just to give her hope, all of you who have taken these classes before, right? Because a lot of you have, can you all like lift a finger or write in the chat if you've done this class again, like if this is your second time around, or for some of you, it's even your third time around, so she can see, give some thumbs up or something. You can visually see that, because most of you guys are on your second or third round of all of these classes. And not all of them are answering, and yet many of them, the ones who are answering, there's like 5 or 6 thumbs up right now, Cassie, but I know the rest of them, and for many of them, it's their second or third time around. What does this mean? It's not that the class isn't effective. It's just that when you first see it, there's so much, right? That you get what you can get. I remember, I look at all your faces and I remember how lost many of you guys were. And then you don't know how much you're learning. You're learning a ton, but you don't understand everything. That's fine. Get what you get. The second time around, you got that. Then you learn even more. And then the third time around, you're like one of the experts who then has nitpicky little questions now and then, because, oh, there's something new with that. There's something new with this. And after that, maybe you can now and then pop in and update if you've updated your operating system and take the class again just to see what's new. So some of the people here have taken this class maybe 5 times, but they started maybe 8 years ago taking it. And so every, once a year, check in and see what's different, remind yourself of stuff and things like that. All right. So
Okay, that's making me feel really a lot better. So I
Yeah.
go to my pipeline, and to get into that intro, how do I do that again?
same place you go to get these recordings. Have you gone to any of these recordings yet?
No, not yet.
Well, then go to the instructions that I've shown you. And if not, email me and I'll send you the
Okay.
instructions again. And you go into your pipeline and you click on the lim file that says Zoom. Zoom links for pipelines. And the reason I'm sending you that, normally I'd say just take the class next session, but guess what? Next session, the only ones scheduled are level 1 and level 2 and iLife.
Okay.
Intro to the Mac isn't scheduled. So too many times, because of the naming, too many times people don't sign up for that one, and many times it cancels. So sometimes they just don't offer it, because twice in a row, it probably won't fill up, because people think, oh, macOS level 1 is the first one, like you did, and they only sign up for that one. So until that happens, we're only going to do level 1 and level 2 next time. What happens is, when I don't have an intro to the Mac in level 1, I compress more stuff, but it's never as good. It's better when I have all 3. Since we won't have level 1 in spring, go ahead and watch the recordings of we won't have intro to the Mac in spring. I'm still talking to them to see if we have a way to put it, but because of scheduling, since level 1 starts at the beginning, there's no way to put intro earlier. So unless they move things, anyway. All right.
Make the class longer, make the class longer. You have intro and OS 1 together. Just make the class longer.
It used to be intro to the Mac was shorter, and the level 1, level 2 were longer. Somehow they all became the same length. The Mac intro now is the same as all 3, but they put more time in intro and less in Mac level 1 and 2. What means is that now, by getting rid of intro to the Mac, the other 2 are too short. So yeah, I need to deal with scheduling. They're not compensating for having changed the hours on the stuff. But anyway, right now, what I was saying is, don't panic. I remember Julie, who just so expertly shared her screen and showed so much stuff. you were desperate the first time you took this. Remember, Julie? You were like, oh, I remember Julie. And did you just see she was sharing her screen and I was going, go here, go there, go there, go there. And she was going here, going there, going there. So you'll get there, Cassie, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I have a quick question for your classes in January. Will they be on Zoom again, or does it have to be at the Wake
Mhm.
Center?
Right now, they are scheduled to be on Zoom.
Okay.
Sorry. They're scheduled to be in person.
Oh, no.
I know. It's really a hard choice to make because I can, I can still change. I can still change my mind. Had I said they were going to be on Zoom, I could not change my mind and go to in person. Because I said in person, I can still change my mind and go back to Zoom. And then here's the deal. I've been teaching these online now for basically in spring, it'll be 2 years.
Yeah.
And all the people who see how great it is to be online want to continue to be online. But there's a lot of people who don't know what to do with their computers and they can't even imagine learning how to use a computer online, so they don't sign up. The amount of people that are coming to classes is reducing, I guess, because, I mean, you guys have taken this for 2 years, maybe you don't take it again, and new people who wouldn't consider taking a class online are not showing up. So, you know, I'm having a lot of issues with whether to be online or in person. And I don't know the right answer. I requested to teach both, like I can be at school and have people online. And right now that's not necessarily person. Oh, yeah. And they've only set it up for a couple of classes in a room that's not a computer lab. So actually Yolanda's answering that. It's called hybrid. It's a high flex class is the style of teaching. You have to do this thing where you have some people in class, some people in the computer. It's very hard to set up the room. And so they're only letting a few classes do that. And I said, well, but mine is a computer lab. It would be the ideal place to do that. So they're considering it. I don't know that I'll get the okay to do it by January. So I'm talking about it. I think that I can manage it with people in person and people and on Zoom. I don't know. Right now, as you say, Yolanda, they weren't very successful. The few that were tried, most people just didn't show up in person. People are kind of comfy sitting in their homes and connecting to a class. It's all the people who don't and didn't, who aren't coming, who were trying to reach out to the community, not just to the people who feel comfortable on computers. And yeah, so it's a hard decision, especially these beginning classes. My Photoshop, my more advanced people are more comfy on the computer, but the beginning classes where you try to catch the people who don't know how to use their computers, it's very hard to tell them go online because they don't know how to use your computer. So for now, they're scheduled to be in person. I'm hoping I can do them both, and then you guys will like Zoom, can stay on Zoom, but that's a conversation to be had over the next few months. Right now, I can't promise that. Okay, well, thanks for those questions. So now you know what's happening with that. Thank you,
have a
Julie.
question
Thank you,
also.
Julie, for sharing that at first it was Greek to you. Yeah, so Cassie, totally. You just saw how expertly Julie handled the computer, right? All right, so Patricia, you said you had a question?
Yes, and it's related to the users. I don't know if you remember that I asked you when you were helping Yolanda that she was almost run out of space,
Mhm,
that my computer was a gray out also.
mhm,
So when we open the users,
mhm.
I found a share folder, but there is only 0.4 space. Is that a lot?
No, the shared folder has nothing to do with that grade spot.
Oh, okay, okay. But it
And
has another,
yeah,
it has
Patricia,
another folder. Uh-huh.
Patricia, you're talking about things that half this class doesn't know what you're saying. So since I'm gonna go and share right now my screen and show some of that, hold your questions until I
Oh,
can
okay.
show that. That way, most people will know what you're asking, okay?
Diane, can
Because I am
vote?
gonna go into that setting. Marcia has had her hand up for quite a while, Barbara,
Okay.
so let me get Marcia first. Yes, Marcia? Marcia, are you there?
Yes, I am. You answered my question last time. Thank you, Deanna.
Oh, great. Okay. So I try to answer based on hands up. So if you don't know how to raise your hands, go to the reactions, and right there
Oh.
under the reaction buttons, you have a little raised hand. Otherwise, people speak up, which is great. If it's a momentary quick question, it's like a yes, no, maybe. But if it's a long question, I'm going to try to follow the order of hands. So practice raising your hands up and down so that you can be there. All right. So Barbara, you had a question and no hands are up. So what's up?
Yes. Is there a place on a Mac that it'll show a pie chart of your computer? I'm such a PC person. I've moved over. I've got 3 Macs now and no PCs.
That pie chart wasn't even effective on the PCs. It made you think that you were doing something, but it didn't. I'm going to show you now a feature that I just told Patricia was talking about, that I said no one knows what you're talking about. I'm about to show a feature that's the Mac equivalent to that, but it's not.
Wonderful.
It's
Wonderful.
not. It's not, but it'll give you a better
Okay.
idea of where your files are.
Thanks.
It's not the same, but it's an all-in-one tool to do some of the stuff I've been showing you. So let me right now continue with this screen. I'm going to share this screen. So here's my goal for you guys. What I want us to do is today, we're exploring the downloads. We went to figure out where are the downloads. In this case, in this computer, and all of our computers, the download is in our hard drive. So we figured out what that means. What is that hard drive, where it goes. Now, beyond that, what files need to be in your downloads, what files need to be in your desktop, what files need to be in your documents, and where they are. That's the next set of things that I want us to deal with. So downloads and trash, both downloads and trash, which Julie demoed, are a great place to start with getting rid of stuff, because for the most part, it's stuff that either you really need because you downloaded it and you want it. That awesome photo of your newly born granddaughter, where did it end up? Oh, you downloaded it. Here it is. Oh, I'm so glad I found it. I didn't know where it was. Or what's this thing doing? It's been here since 2018. Yep, it's sitting there too, right? So you find stuff in the downloads that you need desperately, you didn't know where it was, and you find stuff that has been there, like filling it with spider webs for eons. So how do we distinguish that, and what do we do with it? So the trash is another place where if you go to your trash and you open it up, you might have thousands of things in there, or you might have just a few things in there. So here's my trash, right? And it says 19 items, but remember that in that I might have a whole bunch of stuff in there, or a whole bunch of stuff in those, in those folders. So you might have
Diana,
lots of
can
more.
you open your trash for me, please? I missed that.
This is my trash. Oh, I just went to the dock and click on trash. So right here, I clicked on the trash and I opened my trash. And this window,
I don't have it. I don't have it in my deck.
We don't see it.
you don't have,
Maybe I don't see your trash.
I'm sharing the wrong.
I can't
screen.
either.
You're right. Sorry, guys. I'm sharing my desktop one, when in reality I'm working on desktop two. Sorry, I have. So are you seeing this now? Me moving and opening my trash and stuff? Are you seeing it now? Okay, sorry. I was sharing the wrong window. So yeah, if I'm seeing like this over here and you don't see anything, definitely warn me that you're not seeing it. So so I was saying the downloads folder and the trash folder are the first ones we're addressing, because that's where you can find oodles of material in your computer that shouldn't be there. The first one to address is the trash, because if you put it in the trash, that means you know how to trash things, and you might have thought it was gone. So again, how did I open the trash? Is I went to the dock, click on the little trash icon. If it has see how it has little trash in it, because it's like full of stuff. You can see it's got like the icon has little paper, like magazines or stuff. I could just right click on trash from here. I could do right click and empty trash. But I first think that until you're really sure that what you did was correct, you just should open it first and just take a little gander at what's in there. And if what's in there was something that you're not sure, and should I really? You have two choices. A, you can right click and put it back. It will go back to where it came from, which means if it was a folder inside of a folder inside of a folder inside of a folder, it'll go straight back there, which means you might never find it again to trash it. Or instead of putting back, if you just want to not have it in the trash because you're not sure, you can actually drag it somewhere. Like right now from here, I can put it in the downloads. See, I can just drag it into my downloads and put it there. Because if I say put back, as I said, if you deleted something from some intricate place, it goes straight back into that intricate place. And you had put it in the trash at some point knowing you didn't need it. So why put it back? So put it back is good when you made a mistake, you trashed something and you did want it, you put it back. But if you truly trashed it, but you're not ready to empty your trash because you want to check that one out again, you can drag it somewhere. And a good place to download is to put it in your downloads. So you can grab, and this is my trash. So you can grab something from your trash and you can drop it right here in the downloads. I could drag it like that. See when downloads changed its color like that, and then I let go and it went into the downloads. Another option, if you have both windows open, is to grab it from here and take it all the way into this window that was set up for downloads and drop it right there. So now I've put 3 things in my downloads that were in my trash that I wasn't too sure about. I could take my entire folder and put it in downloads and then check it again. So now I've taken a bunch of stuff out that I wasn't sure about. Now, the one thing I don't recommend you do is to just drag it and put it on your desktop, because then your desktop keeps getting littered with stuff. And I'm going to keep teaching you to empty your desktop. So if you're going to take it somewhere to check it out, don't put it in your desktop. I'm going to command or control. I'm going to control Z so it goes back into the place. If you're going to take it out of the trash because you still want to check it out, then drag it into your downloads, because downloads is also a transition place. So if it's in the downloads, now we're going to go analyze our downloads, right? So that's a good place to analyze things that you're not sure if they should be in the trash. Now, if you are wanting to see what they are, I don't know if it's good or not, select it and hit the space bar. And oh, this is a picture of one of, when you guys, I have you guys say Mac or PC, raise your this or yours that, then I do a screenshot. Well, this is people from a different class that are not in this class anymore. And at some point they had told me whatever some were hands and some were greens. I don't need that anymore. That class is over. That class is from the summer. And that screenshot is useless to me anymore. But I didn't know until I did a space bar what it was. And then space bar again. And I go, I can get rid of that one. Does that make sense, you guys? Now I don't need it. I can either leave it here because I'm going to empty the whole trash, or now that I checked it out, I can right click and say, delete immediately. I don't need that one. Are you sure you want to delete it? Yes. But I don't want to do that to 100 things. Delete immediately. What I want to do is just empty out my entire trash all at the same time. So just take a quick gander at the kind of stuff you have. Hit the space bar. Don't need that. 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 Okay. I can get rid of all of these, right? So if you did that and you're sure you don't need them, now you can hit the empty. Okay. Now, how many of you guys have hundreds or lots of things in here?
In the trash or in the downloads?
In your trash. This is my trash.
I empty my trash every day.
Well, here's the thing.
Me too.
If you empty your trash every day, awesome. If you don't, because it's the kind of stuff you don't remember. But first of all, when I say awesome, be careful, because if you made a mistake, it's gone and lost forever. So your only solution is if you have a time machine to retrieve it. But if you have a time machine set up and you did delete it, sure, once a day is fine. Other people delete it once a week or once a month, but some people don't ever delete it or empty it. And then it keeps a whole bunch of space used up. So I'm going to show you a way to automatize that so that every month at the minimum, it always deletes, or every week you say what you're comfortable with. And as long as you have a time machine, it is not as horrible as it would if you did have a time machine. Okay. So now let's all leave this here for now, because I'm going to show you another tool where we're going to empty the trash from. But leave some things in there. because I want to show you another tool to empty the trash from. From here, you already know, you hit the empty and it'll all go away. So there's, for now, leave it, because I want to answer Yolanda's question. She's like, oh, so is downloads not important versus putting it back in documents? So let me clarify. If I look at this screenshot and I go, oh, whoa, let me see, this was a really important screenshot. I know that I need it. Where do I need it? Oh, I need it in my photos for my husband's pottery, and it's in the documents. Then I put it in the documents in my husband's pottery photos. Yeah, if I made a mistake deleting it, or I say put back and it goes into that folder.
Nice.
But if I look at it and I go, oh God, I'm not sure, should I delete this one or not? Well, a good transition place is to put it in your downloads, because we're about to go and explore our downloads, and then you don't at least have it in the trash where it's about to disappear the moment like you immediately don't delete it. Does that make sense, Yolanda, why I said downloads?
Yes, yes.
If you know you want it, please put it back in the place it should go, clearly. But if you're like, oh God, should I get rid of this one? Did I have this one copied? Wasn't this the one that was better? I thought this one was better than the other one. Oh, did I read this thing? Did I fill this form? Why is it in the trash? Like if you have that kind of question, then drag it into your downloads, empty your trash, and then we're going to go into your downloads and deal with the downloads. And in the downloads, the choice is going to be, so now I'm asking you not to empty your trash because I want some things left in your trash, because I'm going to show you how to download it, delete it from another place. So for now, close your trash. Normally what you'd have done is empty it, but I want to show you a different place. And if there's no trash, it's hard to show. Then you're left with downloads. And so my goal today is to keep exploring the downloads and to begin to tell you what to do. Because the downloads should be, it's like, I always talk about going shopping, and you go shopping and you go to a store, the store that sells a bit of everything. So say that you went to Costco, where you can buy everything from a t-shirt to an air conditioner to some chicken. So that's your downloads. It's like you just went shopping for the internet, you downloaded all kinds of stuff. So you might have photos, you might have, your taxes, you might have software, you might have who knows what in there, right? So it's a transition place. And what you need to do with the downloads is go, okay, this has served its purpose. I don't need it anymore. Move it to the trash. Or, ooh, I downloaded this because I wanted it, I needed it. Let me move it into the documents folder where I keep the things that I want to keep. So the goal is that at least once a week, you are looking at your downloads and dispersing things to their correct places. And the goal of the downloads is to be left with just the things that you keep downloading. And then you just go, oh, let's move. If you download 20 things a month, that's all you'll have in there. If you download 20 things a day, very quickly, you'll have 200 things in there. So it's up to you to say, if I downloaded 200 things today, because I was looking for icons for this design that I'm doing, put them in a folder in the documents folder where you have all of your designs. When the quarantine started and I needed to make masks for my family, I downloaded a couple of patterns for masks. Okay, if they sit there in the downloads because I'm going to make masks once and never again, then I'll use it and then put it in the trash. But if I think I'm going to have to be making a lot of masks, then I might just want to put that pattern to be able to keep finding it in the documents folder called patterns, mask sewing, quarantine, whatever I want to call it, put it in there so that, 2 months later when I need to make more masks, it's there where I need it. The
Maybe that's a new
downloads,
business for-
what's that?
It's a new business, create masks, start a
Oh,
business.
So many people made a business out of it. Yeah. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is either put it safely in your documents, and that we're going to explore next week, or put it in the trash. So that's my goal for the downloads. It should be as empty as possible. We don't need to be hysterical about it. There can be some stuff in it, but because it's like, oh, you just downloaded this form, you need to fill it out, but you're going to do it this afternoon or this week. You just don't want to have it forever in your documents, but you're not ready to delete it yet. Okay, so I'll download this form. 3 days later, I'm going to sit around to fill out this form, send it to whoever needed it. Now I'm done with the form. Now I can delete it. So yeah, that's a transition thing that can live in the downloads until you delete it, but just don't leave that form sitting there 20 months later. Okay. Or don't put it in your documents where that form sits there 20 months later when you've already gone to that, you've already, used that format. There's no need for it anymore. So documents should be for things you want to keep, trash for things you want to throw out, and downloads is that transition place where things live until they go into one of those two places. So like if we're all clear about that, now I see a hand. Let me ask a question. And if you are not clear about that, ask me questions about that. Yeah. Cassie?
Oh, yes, when I press on some item in my trash, it says to see it, it says cannot open because it's in the
Oh,
trash.
yeah. Good point. You can't open it. You can't double click to open it. See, I'm going to try to double click to open this one. And
No,
it'll
it says
say,
can't be open. Yeah.
yeah, it can't be open. So you have to not do that. You have to just hit the space bar to see it. It's a little preview. That's all you can do.
Okay.
The space bar preview and close it. But if you double click, it opens, and in the trash, it goes, sorry, can't open for you because you're in the trash. Move me out of the trash and then I'll open for you. So if you really need to open it, because it's a folder, it's a file that with the space bar, you just can't tell, then move it into your downloads. Yeah, which you can do if you have the window open, or just do like that, move into downloads, and then you can double click and it'll open and then you can see it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Things don't work in the trash. They occupy space, but they don't work. So if it was there by mistake and you need to see it fully fledged, opening up the Word file in Word to see if this is the novel with the last 2 chapters, you need to move it back into the functioning part of the computer. Okay. Otherwise, you can just get a quick preview, which works when that quick preview is, is really is all it takes. But when you are looking at a novel with 20 pages, when you get a quick preview, you have to flip to page 20 to see if it has your last chapter, then you should take it out of the trash. Okay. All right. So for now, as I said, let's keep our trash empty. For now, what I want us to do today is look at the kind of files that you have in your downloads. Someone asked me about PNG, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that first. I want to show you a different way to access all this. The one that Patricia asked about, the one that, I said just a minute, and Barbara said, does the PC have this pie chart and stuff? I said, give me a minute, I'll show you a little bit of that. So let me show you a different place. Whatever's in your downloads, my goal is that by Monday, next class, you will all have cleared it out. It'll either be in the trash or in the documents folder. That's my goal for you guys. So that's your homework. We're going to start the process here. If you have 10 things, it'll be a quick process. If you have 83 things, it might take a little bit longer, but maybe not, because maybe 40 of those are just screenshots of something that you can get rid of all of them at the same time. Can you get rid of all of them at the same time? Yes. Look, say that I don't need to do 100 times right click, move to trash. I could just know that all of these things are supposed to move to the trash. So I can select the first one, hold down shift, select the bottom one. And now I have 4 things selected. Now I can right click and move all 4 to trash. Boom, they all moved at the same time. Now I'm going to go back to the trash and I'm going to go ahead and select those 4 again. Click, shift, click, sorry, click, shift, click. Why am I looking at my screen differently? Click, shift, click. Now I can drag them all at the same time. I'm doing a right click. That's why my mouse is on. My mouse is on the wrong side of my. So I can grab and put them all in the downloads, all 4 of them at the same time. Okay, so you can move things quickly if you do them by big groupings. Okay, so you don't have to do right click trash, right click trash, right click trash every time. Or you can say, oh, I don't want any of these, and right click and get rid of the whole folder, which means you get rid of all of that stuff at the same time. All right, so that said, how do you know if you need it or don't need it? First of all, the first thing you need to do is, as I said before, select and hit the quick preview. Now these 2 are class roster, so I'm not going to do a good preview, because then immortalized in the recording will be all your guys' personal information. So I'm not going to show you those 2, but When I get to this one and I try to do quick preview, it just shows me a folder. That's no good. I don't know what's in there. So you need to open a folder to see what's in there. So if you truly need to see folders, just show us folders. You need to pretty much open and then go, oh, let's see this one. Oh, okay, this is my whatever folder, and there's nothing in that one. Okay. So that happened to be a folder that has nothing. How about this one? Oh, this one has all that information in it. I do need to keep this one. So where do you need to keep this one? Let me see. This one is how to find your Apple ID or password. Oh, so this should probably go in a folder called class files, right? Because it's a file from this class. Or maybe you can have how to handle my computer files. I don't know. So is this something to get rid of or to keep? What do you guys would think?
Keep.
You probably want to keep this one.
Keep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's in my downloads. Why? Because you guys went to the handouts and downloaded. This is a download that I put in my handouts. If you downloaded it, it lives in here. So is it going to be easy to find in your downloads? No, because it'll be labeled by alphabetical order. Who know how the file, like what if 6 months from now you go, oh, I downloaded that thing once that Diana had about how to find Apple password. Where is it? And you have to search through 250, 850 things in your downloads and you don't remember the file name. So the best way to have this handy is to make a folder in your documents folder that says class files or Mac info files or Diana's class handouts or, you know, how to handle my Mac handout, whatever folder you want to name and create, and then to put it in there, right? So let's go do that so that you guys can have a folder to put your class files in. And then we can begin to empty out our downloads. So let's go to your documents folder. And in your documents folder, you should probably have nothing or a lot. If your computer is new, you have nothing. If your computer is old, you have a lot of stuff. Or it's old, but you don't use it, then you have nothing. I don't know. That usually people who have older computers have been using it for a while and they have more stuff. So I'm not going to guess, but now if you're very tidy, remember when Bill had shared his folder, his computer, he only had like folders in here and nothing loose. So he only had like 10 items. That was his downloads actually, but in his documents, that's ideal. Ideally, you will not have this. This is an example of everything I didn't know where to put. I threw it into my documents, right? Ideally, you would have a folder here called class files. And then when you go to your downloads, this would be able to be put straight into that class files folder. But do we have that set up right now? Well, some of you might from other classes of mine, but I don't have it set up. I don't have it set up. So guess what I'm going to do? I have so much loose stuff here in documents that needs to be handled and figured out and organized because it's such a mess, which I'm assuming is 90% of your guys' computers, that I'm not going to worry about that. What I'm going to do is for Monday, okay? If I decide that I need this file, I'm going to just put it in my documents. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to grab this and take it straight to my documents and drop it. Now, when I did that, watch. I'm going to grab it again. I'm going to grab it from, please watch. This is not a time to do anything. My mouse, my entire mouse, and some of you guys have your mouse made larger, has only one part of it that matters. And it's the very, 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 very tip of my mouse. The very tip of that arrow is the only valid part. So if I now try to click on this thing that's highlighted, but the tip of my mouse is not there, it's not going to work. What's going to happen is I'm going to highlight something else. Okay. So the tip of the mouse is what matters. Sometimes, especially if you made your icon big, it's people see this huge thing and go, how come it's not selecting it? Because right now that very tip is not there. If I do that, I'm clicking on something else, okay? So the tip has to hold it. Now, that tip of the mouse is also very important because that document is not going to light up until my tip of my mouth touches it. So watch. If I grab this here and move it to documents, the moment the tip of my mouse touches documents, it turned blue. It's ready to go. Perfect. Now watch what's going to happen here. I'm going to click and drag from way over there. I'm going to touch the words PDF and click and drag from here. And I'm going to try to put it in documents and see how documents is not turning blue because the tip of my mouse is lying way back here. So all the stuff way back here is turning blue. I need to move my mouse in until now the tip of my mouse, no matter how long this icon is, now the tip of my mouse is touching the word document. So now I can let go. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yep.
You have to tip of your mouse. Cool. So now I go back into downloads and I go, I wonder if I need this or not. Let me see, space bar. Oh yeah, this is that little drawing that I explained how the cloud, I want to keep that one. Okay, so I'm going to grab it and I'm going to put it in documents. Then I'm going to click on this guy and I'm going to look at this and go, oh no, I have this photo. I don't need this one. Okay, right click, move to trash. So that's what we're going to do. Notification Catalina, let me see. Do I need this one? No, I don't need this one. Right click, move to trash. So by the time you're done with this on Monday, you will have most of your stuff either in the crash or in the documents. And then you will have about 1 to 20 things that you have no idea what to do. You have no idea. It's like, I need to ask Deanna about this file. I don't know if it's a good one. I don't know if it's a bad one. What is this file? Okay, so by Monday, I want you to only leave in the downloads the stuff that you don't know what to do with it. You don't even know what kind of file it is, okay? And we're going to talk about file types on Monday. And then I'll explain PNGs and TMGs and DMN, all that kind of stuff. If I can get to it, I'll begin today. But I want to show you something else today, which is much more important. So does everyone understand their homework? I'm going to write homework. Delete everything, not delete. Actually, hold on. I need to send it to everyone.
Move everything.
Homework.
Yeah.
Move everything out of your downloads folder, either to the trash or to the documents folder. Next class, we will organize our documents folder and then we'll make a folder called class files and put all the class files in there, or taxes and put all the taxes in there, and so on and so forth. So we'll work on that. But right now, oh, there you're saying, Marcia, can you show us how to create and put a document? Not right now. Right now, I'm going to show you something else. Okay. Let me see what Yolanda's saying. Thanks. I drag it out of the trash to check it, and then I trashed it again, and with a quick preview. Okay, cool. And then Deanna, without going back and forth, I'm download the calendar to check what is in my downloads event coming up. Will it erase in calendar if I delete it from the downloads? No, it won't. For some reason, I know you've had this before. You download calendar events, but they don't. I don't know why you do that. There's something you do in your calendar that downloads your calendar events. Maybe you have something automatized. No, you don't need. You don't need that. You don't need those
Diana,
files. Yes.
I don't put that when I am, let's say you have an event coming up
Mhm.
and I put I put a webinar or a Zoom link in and the date in my calendar,
Mhm.
it automatically also goes to my download, and I don't know why. So
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I know because every time I open up your computer, you have a lot of ICS files, which are those calendar files, which normally shouldn't be being created. So there's some system you have set up to have you do that. No, you can delete all those ICS files and be fine. Guys, I'll talk individually about files later. I just know that this is a problem for her and her computer, so I know I'm responding to it, but I don't want right now to say, yes, delete ICS, and no, don't delete PNGs. Yes, delete PDFs. I'm not going to do that until Monday. Right now, I want you guys to delete or not delete something based on what you see in them. So if you hit the space bar and you see that you want it, it goes in the documents. If you see you don't want it, it goes to trash. If you have no idea what this is, what should I do with it? Leave it in downloads. Okay. So I expect you to have stuff in your downloads on Monday, because I expect you to have, I don't know what this is. It's those that we'll then start tackling, because it's the weird ones that you don't know what they are that I need to explain. Oh, this is really important for your computer. Don't get rid of it. Or, oh, no, this is not important. Go ahead and trash it. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yes.
Vera said yes. Cool. So the goal isn't to have it empty.
it's the goal of homework. Only have what you don't know what it is left behind in the downloads folder. Okay? That's the goal of the homework. I want to be able to help you puzzle out the stuff that you don't know. And we'll work on what are the different file extensions and what they mean and stuff like that. Okay, so now go ahead and I'm gonna move this over. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna move this over because I'm gonna open something different and I want everyone to do the same. This is piecemeal work. You're gonna have to sit and do it. No one can do this for you. See if these are important or not. I'm going to close this window. There's a different way to do this same work. Instead of how I just showed you, not the same work. Okay, not the same work, similar work. This way I showed you is the only way to do it if you want to save stuff and move some stuff to the trash and save some other stuff and move it to the documents folder. Then you have to do what I just showed you. But if what you want to do is look at your files and just move things to trash, there's another way that's faster. Like you want to look at all your files, the biggest files. Oh, the biggest ones are the ones that you want to move to trash and get rid of first. You want to look and see where you have videos that take up a lot of space. And so you look at your videos and you move the files to trash that are videos. Or you want to see by file types. Let me look at all my JPEGs and get rid of the big ones. So there's a way to do that that's much easier than I'm showing you. What you can't do is move them from place to place. And my goal is not to empty your downloads. It's to empty your downloads of the stuff you don't need and to move the stuff you need into the documents folder, right? So that second portion, the move them to where you need them, is what you can't do with this new system. So this new system that I'm about to show you right now is good for emptying out stuff you don't need in a much more nuanced way. Let me just stop for a minute. I'm noticing Cassie has her hand up, but it's been up for a while. Is it something I've already answered or is it still up from before?
Yes, it's already answered. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to lower your hand then. All right. So I'm clearing everyone's feedback because now we're back to 0 and I want everyone to go to the Apple About This Mac. So we started our first entire class, Intro to the Mac, and then again, Mac OS Level 1, going to the Apple About This Mac. This window is very powerful. Open this window. Got it. So Dorian, you have very few things because it's a new computer. That's fine. Some people have new computers, but they transfer all the files from some other computer. So even if it's new, you have a ton of files. And other people start their new computer and they start with it like it's a new baby. It's got nothing in it. Anything is coming in. So now at least you're going to learn how to look at your stuff in order to deal with it when you start having stuff. Okay, so did everyone open their About This Mac?
Yes.
Now, let's go to storage, the third choice, storage. All right, now this storage here is the one that I showed you also, an intro to the Mac, and I might have shown it to you. And notice that mine is still calculating. I have so much stuff that it's kind of calculating. If it says calculating, just wait. I have other stuff connected to my computer, right? So it's sitting there. All right, so here's the result of mine. Now, first of all, this stuff that's in color is what's finding my computer. And because showed you my setup, I have 3 accounts. If I hover over here, these are other users, okay? So there's just nothing I can do about that right now. I have to go sign in as another person to handle. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is other users, the brown one. Okay, so it was still calculating. So the other users I can't do anything about. This is me, actually my real computer. The other side of this computer has all my stuff, which I used to have. I don't know if you guys remember from the beginning of last session, I was up to here. I was so full that my computer wasn't working. Well, I've been
working really hard on all my stuff. I've been spending time clearing out, doing a lot of the work that I'm showing you today with my stuff, backing up. So I've managed to make a whole quarter of the space of my computer. I had 1 terabyte, which is 1,000 gigabytes. And now I have 260 of them. So I have a full, more than a quarter of my computer is emptied out. Whereas when I started teaching you guys 6 weeks ago, I was down to like, I only had like 100 gigabytes or less. I had like 80 gigabytes less. And so my computer is beginning to do some weird stuff. Now that I've emptied out so much space, it's a much happier computer. So I'm getting ready now to upgrade to the new source system because I just didn't want to bring all of that. Okay, someone's starting their computer. Now, over here, I have other users, which is the stuff I can't do anything about. So you guys probably don't have other users unless you have, you know, your husband, your wife, your kid, somebody putting stuff in your computer. But then you have colorful stuff we can deal with. And then you have this little other, and we're going to talk about that great other that it's a bunch. It's 75 gigabytes over there. It's other. So I'm going to be able to look at all of this stuff now. How? By hitting up this little manage button. So let's hit manage. And this is a wonderful screen. So I'm going to go ahead and change my share so that I only share that screen. That way it's easier to see it. Here we are. So you know how you got in there? You click manage, under storage, click manage. And I want everyone to be in this place before we continue. Give me a thumbs up or give me a yes or nod. Are you all in your manage? Okay, great. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. Oh, that little fly. I guess flies have long life. That little fly came back. And I never did kill it. I was telling my kids about it and he's like, why didn't you kill it? Well, I can't just jump up and go find a fly swatter in the middle of my class and start swapping at the fly. It's like, why not? Well, because I'm teaching.
It seems to come the same time every day, Deanna.
I know. It's telling me, okay, it's time for a break.
Deanna,
Yes.
I don't have a manage on my
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You
Okay.
don't have it on your old computer. Mhm.
Okay.
It doesn't exist in it's been there for a while, but yours is very old system. So yeah, it's been there for the last Mojave had it. Yeah, I don't remember if Yosemite had it, but it's been around for like 4 or 5 years, but your computer's operating system is older than that. So yeah. But if of all things, it is one of those things that's really good about the newer operating systems. I love this window. Okay, so now what's this window showing me? It's showing me that at the very top, it says recommendations, and there's a line. Then it's showing applications, documents, iCloud, mail, messages, trash. Then there's a line, other user system and other that I cannot touch. See how they're grayed out here? Which is basically telling me that 600 gigabytes of what's in this computer, I cannot touch because I am not the user who uses that stuff. And when you have other users using your stuff, they have to do it. They have the own, you know, unless you have their password and stuff. So I have the password for these other users. Those other users are myself when I'm not teaching. That's my real computer stuff. So, and when I'm not teaching, that's the stuff I'm accessing, 600 gigabytes. But now that I am in this teacher mode, this is the only stuff I can handle. Okay. So let's system files. You're not allowed to mess with them here. So they're also grayed out. And then there's this other, we'll talk about that. This other can be pretty big for some people. For me, it's 74 gigabytes, but this other used to be like 200 gigabytes last week. And I kind of had to go and do a bunch of work, but I could only do it from my other user in there. And it's files that the computer can't classify. It doesn't know. They're not clearly messages, nor mail, nor documents, nor applications, nor photos, nor videos. And it's like sitting there going, what is all that? So that's the kind of stuff you need to deal with by hand. As I told you before, just one by one, looking at your files, deleting. And I had a bunch of really big video files from my son's video project. So I deleted a lot of those and a lot of that went away. So you can't handle it from here. None of the things that's Ray you can handle from here. The only things you can handle is the stuff here that does light up. Okay, that's what you can handle. And then recommendations. So let's all head over to recommendations.
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't have messages on the thing that popped up first.
That's fine. Maybe you don't have, do you do text from your computer?
Oh, no. So, okay. So that's what it
The-
meant.
This
the
is text and this is text from your computer.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Mhm.
So
That's
what
fine.
did you want us to go to?
Recommendations up at the top.
Okay.
Marcia, your hand is up.
Deanna, why would trash show up when I've just emptied it?
I'll show you in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
You emptied it, but does it say 0 or nothing in it?
No, not at all. It shows 5 gigabytes, but I've been emptying my trash all along. And I just emptied it today again, so.
Mhm. So if you notice, I have some stuff in here in my trash. When I showed you my trash. Interesting. I'm clicking on.
Oh, my mistake. I added it to the trash since I emptied it.
You added something to the trash. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, but I did want to show you that in my trash, because I had to open it first to show you and share two things. Hold on. It's a new share and I'm going to share both of these. Okay, so just really quickly, in this here, this trash is showing me two things, notifications and image. But when I go to my trash, I have 5 things. I have 2 images and I have folders. See that? If I open my folders, there's stuff inside, but the trash is only willing to, from here, delete only the things it can see. It can't see what's inside my folder. So that's why it's not going to delete stuff that's inside my folders. I'm going to have to come to the trash to delete it. Because as I said, this is only good for trashing individual files, but it isn't good for organizing files. And so these are organized into folders, so it's not showing them. We'll talk about that in a minute more, but remember I said leave some things in your trash because I wanted you to see some stuff in here. Okay, so here I can handle my trash, here my messages, here my mail, only for deleting stuff. Let me head back to recommendations so that I can go systematically down this list of what this is. Recommendations. First of all, people come to this place when they're out of, when they need to organize or deal with the only reason to come into this managed space is when you're wanting to be really tidy up your computer. You don't open this every day. And when you're trying to manage space because you're out of space and stuff like that. So what the computer is recommending, if you're out of space or if you need to manage your stuff, is first of all, one thing that it recommends is to store everything in the iCloud. That's what the Mac recommends you to do. Store all your files, photos, and messages in the iCloud and save space by keeping only recent files and optimized photos on this Mac when storage space is needed. Okay, so now what it's saying is, please save space by doing this. Okay, and then if you want to do that, you can store things in the cloud. Now, remember that I told you guys you'd be given chances to decide if you wanted to change. Many of you guys had decided that you wanted your stuff in the cloud, and others might go, no, I want to do it the other way around. So this is just an example of the Mac telling you, hey, if you're running out of space, this will help you. So what's the pros and the cons? We've talked about this. The pros of that is, yes, it'll make up much more space on your computer. The cons, you'll have to pay for more space in the cloud. That said, it's much cheaper to pay $199 a month than to buy a new computer with a bigger hard drive, right? So unless you're willing to buy a new computer with more hard drives, then maybe the first thing you can do is put your stuff in the cloud for those of you who are running out of space, and pay for space in the cloud. It's like you hire a trailer or something and you set it up in your next to your in your driveway and you put a lot of your stuff in there, right? So that's one option. I'm not saying you have to do it or not, but this is one place where you can do it. What other place you can do that in? Okay, and I'm going to share my other window. Another place where you can decide to, and I'm going in to share this system preferences window, is you could have gone into your Apple ID. You could have gone over here into the iCloud Drive options, and you can choose to turn this on. Mine and this user is turned on, and my other user, it's not. So different users on the computer can have different choices. So in this one, this is already on. This means that in this computer that I'm sharing with you right now, my desktop and documents folder are already in the cloud. So this is already turned on. So here it's just suggesting I should store in the cloud, but mine is already turned on. So I can ignore that. For those of you who you do not have this turned on and your stuff is not in the cloud, it's a choice that you need to make if you want to make or not. I'm not going to make that choice for you. I'm just telling you this is another place. Either you turn this checkbox on there, or you click on store in the cloud in here, and then you proceed to say yes to whatever it's asking you. Okay.
Diane, can you store both places?
Well, no, I mean, remember that if the stuff is in the cloud, it is in both places. It shows up in your computer as well, but it's not two things. Okay. It's stored officially in the cloud, but the files are still in your computer. Only if you begin to run out of space does it begin to prioritize things to be in the cloud, and then it keeps only recent files and optimized photos on this space, meaning it'll keep small versions of your files here for you to see and use and write and edit, but the real thing is being stored in the cloud, right? And that's if you're beginning to really run out of space. That's how it manages the material. So it is in both places, but it's one file. If you're saying, can you store it in two places? No, you would have to copy your stuff onto an external hard drive and have it as a clone or as a copy, and then that would work, but you can't work off of that. So yeah, if you're really comfortable with file management, there is a way to have another copy. But for the most part, if you have this turned off, it lives in your computer. Your only option is to have another copy of it. If it's turned on, then it does live both in the cloud and in your computer. And by the way, maybe on your iPad, like Doran, who has a new iPad where he can also access the files on the iPad. You guys on your phone, if you go to your iCloud app on your phone, which comes with your phone, you'll see that you can open up your files on your phone as well, as long as they're in the cloud. Julie, what's your question?
If I hit store in the cloud and I really don't want anything up there, can you undo it, or is it a done?
It's a process. Yeah, it's not it's easy. If you turn it on, it's easy. It just processes it and it starts copying, and it takes a while depending on how much stuff you have. It might take a day, it might take 2 hours to put all your stuff in the cloud. You won't notice the difference except for when you start clicking on the file, it'll say, the path will say that it ends up in the cloud instead of at home. That's easy. But if you turn it off, the default thing that happens, and this is what kind of freaks people out, is that all the stuff stays in the cloud and not in your computer. If you turn it off, it defaults to the cloud. So then you have to grab all that stuff and bring it back down to your computer. So there's a handout in my handouts where I put a whole description of what's the process to restore things to your computer from the cloud if you turned off that option. It's not as simple, because the default, your files, remember, when you're in the cloud, they live in the cloud as their main spot. That's where you have all the big files, all your files live in the cloud. So when you turn off this button or this check mark, that becomes the place where everything stays, because those were your big files. All the little previews and stuff that you were looking at in your computer disappear, and you're suddenly panicked because you go, my computer is empty, where's all my stuff? So then you have to grab that stuff and recopy it back down into your computer. And then that's how you manage to have, and then you can empty out your cloud, and then your stuff is only on your computer. So it's a process, right?
Yeah,
It's a
because
great
I,
question.
yeah, I ran out of time to do the download or whatever for going up to Big Sur.
Yeah.
And
was
I
about to-
remember the other day you said, be very careful about clicking something for the cloud, and I don't want my stuff to go to the cloud. So,
Yeah, so the other day I had encouraged Julie to upgrade to Big Sur because she had all her stuff set up to do. When we left the class, I was going to ask you what had happened, but okay, I guess that you decided to work a little bit more on it before you move up to Big Sur. But during the installation of a new operating system, this is when this happens. When you install a new system, the computer automatically, the default choice of setting it up is to store things in the cloud. And that's how most of your stuff ended up in the cloud when you didn't know it had happened. Because as you updated to a new operating system, a window pops up and asks, do you want to put documents in the cloud? And since most people don't know what it means, they just keep going, okay, you know, kind of like next. Or if someone did it for you at the Apple store, they don't ask you, they just assume, the assumption is people want their stuff on the cloud. So you went to upgrade your computer, you took it to the store, next thing you come back and all your stuff is in the cloud. It's during that setup. So if you're upgrading to a new system, you got to read before you say, okay. And one of the questions is, do you want to store your stuff in the cloud? And you just go, no, skip, and you keep moving, and then your stuff stays in your computer. But you just
Okay.
got to read, that's all. It's not it's not like it's hidden, but you got to pay attention to what it's asking. And when it says, do you want to store your stuff in the cloud? You got to say no. Okay.
yeah, okay. Yeah, because sometimes, you know, things are very convolutedly stated and I have
Yeah.
no idea. So
Yeah.
that's okay.
Well,
Thank you.
now that you've heard the words document, cloud, store, like now you'll recognize it. In the past, the same thing that I'm saying right now might have made no sense, but now it does make sense to you because I've spoken about it so much that you will recognize the words, because it'll basically say, do you want to store your stuff in the cloud, your documents and desktops in the cloud? It'll say, do you want to store your desktop and document in the cloud, in the iCloud? And you get to say, I don't know if the option is no or skip, one of those. It's a negative versus yes. The
Okay.
yes is already pre-checked. So it wants you to go next. And if you say next, then that pre-checked thing is what takes over.
Okay.
It doesn't like let you decide. It doesn't like stop you from moving forward without making a choice. It's a pre-checked yes. So if you just say next, it assumes the yes.
Okay.
Right. Okay. The next, so that's your choice to make. I'm not going to make you guys do that or not, but that does save space in the cloud for those of you who have running out of space on your, especially if you have a MacBook Air with a very small hard drive. But then you have to make sure that you want to pay for the stuff. Then we have optimized storage, which is going to save space by removing any movies or TVs that you've watched from this Mac. A lot of people don't know that, but especially in the past, you had to download a movie to watch it. You had to download a TV show to watch it. You had to download music to hear it. But now it's all streamed. If you go and watch a movie, it streams. You don't download it into your computer. So you might have from the past, this is people who use their computer in the past. If you hit optimize, it says, do you want to optimize storage as movies and TV shows that you've already watched will be automatically removed from this Mac. Now, if you purchase them through the Apple Store in the past, which is from iTunes or stuff like that, you can download them again anytime and you can change this later in the preferences. So basically, anything you download will sit here until you watch it. And once you watched it, it'll be removed. And that way it doesn't sit there. So if you say this and you say optimize, any movies and shows that you've downloaded in the past will disappear. So if you have anything you're saving there because you really love and whatnot, then don't say optimize. But if you're because these things take up tons of space. Okay. So if you say optimize and you did have many, they'll disappear. As long as you bought them through the Apple Store or through iTunes, you can go and retrieve them. But if you didn't, you might be removing stuff that you cannot retrieve anymore. So be careful with that. I think that it's a good idea because most of the times what you have there is, you know, maybe you used to watch, I don't know, 5 years ago, if you were watching a series, I don't know, give me a name of a series. 5 years ago, if you were watching a series, you had to download it into your computer. Now you just click on watch and you watch it and it doesn't download. So that's the difference. It's that downloaded stuff. It's probably going to be old stuff. Okay. All right. So if you did do that, that would probably save a lot of space. Then you have the choice to empty your trash automatically. Here's where you can turn it on. For those of you who aren't good about going and emptying it out, you can say turn on and it says, oh, are you sure you want to end it automatically? Items left in the trash for more than 30 days will be automatically erased. Okay, you can change the setting later. You can keep changing the settings and say, I want to empty it out every day. I want to empty it out every week. But just in case you forget, at the very least, if you turn this on, right? So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on right now because I haven't done yes to any of the others, but this is why I wanted to have something to turn on. So I left this one. So now every 30 days, it's going to check my trash and empty it out. So it's going to count down from today. So if I look at my trash right now, it's still full of stuff. But as of today, in 30 days, it'll delete everything that was here today. But if I delete something tomorrow, that won't leave until 31 days from now. If 5 days from now I delete something, then it'll take 36 days to delete it. Does that make sense? Everything has, it only empties the trash. It doesn't like empty your trash. It's not emptying trash. It's anything that's been there more than 30 days. So if something I put in there today will live for 30 days before it empties itself out. When you empty your trash manually, you get rid of everything, no matter if you just put it in there today or if you put it in there 2 months ago. So it's kind of a mindless empty trash, empty trash, empty trash. By doing this, it's a little bit more nuanced. Anything you put in there stays for 30 days. So if you put something big in there, like the one that Julie just got rid of 1.5 gigabytes of stuff with one file, she should probably just say delete immediately. So it doesn't live there for a month and a half, for a month, for 1.5 gigabytes for a month. But otherwise, if the stuff that you're deleting is regular stuff and you just put it in the trash, rest assured that 30 days after that one thing you put in there, that one item will be deleted. And so it's more nuanced. You always have only 30 days worth of trash sitting in your trash. So if you're not sure if what you deleted was for sure, this saves it from deleting itself completely and you never have to empty your trash by hand. But at the very least, once a month, your stuff goes away. Not all your stuff, once again, when that one thing reaches the 30-day line. Okay, is that pretty clear? I might be clear about this. It's kind of hard to distinguish. It's not like every 30 days, boom, you empty your trash. Rather, everything begins to have a life of its own and everything has a date on it. And when that one thing has been there for 30 days, that one thing disappears. But something that was only been there for 5 days still has 35 days to live in the trash until it disappears. Okay, it's kind of like a gradual emptying. All right, so those are settings that you can do rather quickly. And now we come to the good one, the review files, reduce clutter. Since class is right now over, it's 12:15, I'm going to click on review files and ask you guys to spend some time with this one as homework. You don't need to delete anything yet. just click. Okay, so under recommendations, it says review files. Notice here, I'm not in recommendations anymore, I'm in documents. And it's taking me to my documents and it's saying, these are the files that you have. Large files, what it considers large. And I look down and they happen to be all movies. In my downloads, remember that we have stuff in our downloads and it's telling me, oh, these are older than 3 months and these are recent. Just warning me in case I want to, oh, if it's older than 3 months in my downloads, I really don't need it. Say that I go, oh, I don't need it from here. I can click on this one and watch. From this place, I can say, oh, I don't really need this one. Let me see what it is. Spacebar. Oh, it's that one. So again, even in here, I can check out and see what it is. And then I can go and say, delete for just that one. So delete means it's going into the trash. Are you sure? It'll delete immediately. You can't in there, but it doesn't go into the trash. It's like bypassing the trash. If I delete it from here, it deletes, freeing up space. You can't undo it. So this is equivalent of taking it to the trash and deleting it. It's a complete deletion, an immediate deletion. I am bypassing the trash and I'm getting it rid, and it won't be ever more in my computer. If I'm sure I didn't want it and I say delete, that one did not go to my trash. It has just left my computer. So be very careful. Unsupported apps. A lot of you might have a lot of stuff in here. If you have been updating your computer over the years to new operating systems and you go to unsupported apps, any app that's left here is apps that your computer, your new operating system can't handle. So old printer drivers or old Apple, Adobe software that the computer can't handle anymore, or old Microsoft Office stuff, or old things that you go, oh yeah, I used to use that 10 years ago. You might find it here. You'll never be able to use it again because the new operating, these are old things. Usually the dates are old. So select them. They were probably really big. Select them and delete them. Okay. So the most useful ones would be to go to large files and go, oh God, this is really big. Do I want it? And then I space bar and I go, oh yeah. And it starts showing me the video and I go, of course I want it. It's my little kids when they were babies chasing after the chickens, or, oh, of course I want it. It's my son's third birthday. Or I can also click on that and go, oh, why do even I have this video? It's somebody sent me a video of their cute granddaughter that I thought was so cute and somehow didn't notice that I had downloaded it and it's living in my computer. Really? I didn't know that. Oh, I certainly don't need that. Boom, delete. Right? It's a friend's daughter's friends who kind of was saying a cute thing. You don't need it anymore. Delete, delete, delete. So
Deanna, how come I have that on mine? Santi's third birthday. Did we do that in another class?
Yeah, in my iLife class. When
Well,
you've
I
been in
don't
my
think
iLife, when you've been in my iLife class.
No, I've only taken the intro.
Okay, or the intro levels. When I have you download, when I have you transfer files to organize, this is one of the ones that you have to organize and delete. So if you didn't delete it during that class, delete it now. Okay, so a lot of you guys who've taken this class before, I made you download files to organize, and this is one of the ones that you've had to organize. So it's pretty big and you certainly don't need it. Now, by the way, had you gone into your documents folder, I actually saw it in your downloads folder, you have a folder called download files for class. Inside of that folder, you had this one. Now in here, oh, you don't care where it is, but if you click on it, you'll see it does live in class file. You can find out where it is right there. And you'll see that you have it. But the whole point is, do you need it? Do you not need it? No, I don't need it. Right? Just delete it. Okay. This is the best way to get rid of the stuff that really matters. A lot of the times, Yolanda, actually she had to leave and the class is over, so I know to have to leave. A lot of the times you start deleting little files, and it doesn't make much a difference because you can download 1,000 small files. It's equivalent to just one movie as far as space in your computer. So by going through large files, you can really quickly see which of the files that the computer thinks are more of a space waste and more easily make a difference in your computer. Okay, so you don't have to delete stuff from here, but you can delete some stuff from here if you want. We're going to keep going with this. Just explore it, but be careful that if you delete it from here, it's gone and lost forever. It does not stop in the trash. All right, we're going to keep going from here. Your homework is to go to the downloads folder, move things either to the trash or to your documents folder. And then if you have extra time, go into this manage your storage as extra homework and view your large files and delete them if appropriate. I think I bungled up the spelling of that one. Okay. All right. Class is officially over.
Oh,
I'm here
gosh.
just for extra questions. Class has been over for 7 minutes. So if you need to leave, please leave. And I see a couple of hands, so I'll answer a couple more questions.
Oh, yeah.
Marcia's
Thank
hand.
you, Deanna.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Marcia, what's your
Thank you,
question?
Diana.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Marcia, your hand is up.
Thanks, Diana.
Bye, guys. I think Marcia might not be available right now, so the next is Cass.
No, I'm here. I'm
Oh, you
sorry.
are?
Sometimes it takes me a minute to get back to the microphone and unmute it.
Yeah, no, that's
Deanna,
fine.
Deanna, if we go ahead and tell iCloud not to save our messages anymore, does that mean they will be removed from iCloud forever? Number one.
Yes, yes, be careful. When you go to messages, many times you send photos, like people send you photos or bring in photos. And if you don't, that takes up a lot of storage on your phone, on your computer. If they're photos that you want, keep them. If photos that you don't want, you can delete them. So that's what this is, but I'll explain more about this next class.
And will the messages though still be on my phone and the photos in the messages?
No, if your stuff is in the cloud, it's gone from everywhere.
Oh, wow. So
Mhm.
but the phone doesn't have storage. I'm a little confused.
If your messages on your computer, let me share my screen. If your
On the
messages on your computer, let me share my screen again.
Thank you.
But see, this is why there's certain questions that if I answer now, I think I've answered it and the rest of the class doesn't know it. So
Oh,
can you
I can
please-
wait.
Please
I can-
remind me that this is something I didn't say, but let me really quickly, I should have said, don't delete things willy-nilly yet without knowing what you're doing. Only do the downloads. This one is better to it. So what this is that in my messages is my texts. People have sent me movies and photos because that's kind of what we do. So all of this stuff, so look at this 18 megabyte movie and I click on it. And it's the movie of my son's graduation. Now, this is living in my messages because somebody sent it to me or I sent it to somebody. So it also lives, if it's mine, if I took that video, it's also already in my computer under text. And you know what, I'm gonna have to explain this again. So just clearly, if it's my video, it already lives under my photos, but it also lives in my text because I sent it to someone. So do I need it in my texts anymore? No. So I can delete it from messages, but it's going to delete from my text, from my computer, and from my phone, and from everywhere. That text that I sent in June to my mom, oh, look at the video of Santi graduating. She has it, I have it, but I don't need my text to have it as well. So if I delete it from here, it deletes from my text, but it stays in my computer. On the other hand, if it's something that someone sent me and I have it in my text, then unless I download it, I won't have it anymore. Okay, so we'll talk about this a little bit more. For now, just kind of ignore it. As you can see, there's tons and tons of files and tons of space that can be saved if I delete some of these bigger files from texts that are so old that no one's scrolling back to those texts anymore. It's gold. It's happened. The graduation happened in June. Who's going to go back and text to see this video? I'm not. If I'm going to keep it, I'm going to keep it in my photos file. Okay. So yeah. All right. So we'll talk, but we will talk more about it next class because that one is an important one. All right, Cassie.
I forgot the first question.
Write your questions in the chat if you want.
Okay.
When you're all waiting,
is
because
it-
that kind of helps.
Okay, is that exact question, like I think I've sent this one picture that's in my photos to a bunch of people on text. So if I take it out of this messages, I'm not going to do this now. It won't take it out of my photos in my computer,
It won't. No.
just that message. Okay, so that I understood that correctly. So I opened my computer again and it's still doing this like black, just the computer with the line. It never could like load up. Do you have any advice?
Just that your computer's dying.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Well, just in time because I just bought a new one. So I'm
Yeah.
not gonna try too much.
keep trying. And as long as you have the stuff in it already, did you do a backup the other day? So
Yeah,
you have your
it's
stuff?
everything's backed up and it's all transferred to my new computer.
So
So
then it's up to you whether you want to take it to the, keep trying. And if it never opens up, you can either toss it or be careful, because if you toss it like this, maybe it does work tomorrow and then someone else can see your stuff. So basically keep trying to open it up. And if it doesn't work at all, like you can either try to donate it and see if someone else can fix it or not, but be careful, because if someone fixes it, potentially they're going to ask you to for your password so that they can try to fix it. I would say that if you want to donate your computer to maybe have someone see if they can still access it and delete it, and maybe take it to the Mac mechanic. So you might have to put in a little bit of money for them to fix it, but then you can donate it. If you're done and you want to put it in the trash, then take it to some recycling event and hopefully they'll trash it. If you're really worried about personal stuff, you can put a power drill through it and completely kills everything and it'll never be fixed.
Okay, well-
I am the thought that if you can donate it, there's people who can always fix them and make good use of it, but that's your choice.
it is 10 years old. That's the thing. So
Yeah, so maybe it's time to get rid of it. Still,
maybe it's time to share. Okay, thank you.
as you can see right here, the laptop that I'm sharing with you guys, it's a 2012. It's a mid 2012, and we still use it in our home. This laptop mid 2012 is the one that we run our TV from, because we don't have cable. So we have this old one connected to my TV, and we watch everything on our TV using this computer. So they have their uses. They have their
Okay.
uses.
Thank
All
you.
right, you're welcome. All right, Barbara. You're muted.
Go figure. How can I safely look in that external hard drive that's using Time Machine? You know, when I first hooked it up and everything, it was like every minute it was, there's another line. I wanted to look in it just to see.
Yeah, just double click and open it up. Open it up if you want to share your screen. I'll show you. But yeah, I mean,
That-
when you
the
first hooked
icon
up
on
the
the
time,
desktop?
yeah, double click on it and it'll open up. If you want to share your screen, I'll show you.
Yeah.
That said, when you first did your time machine, if it's very full, it probably took a long time, and that's why it was still writing. But once the first copy is done, it's done. Okay, so here's your. Okay, here you go. So these are all the different. From now on, if this is just a time machine, there's never any reason to open it up. But if you want to, you can go back in time. See, all the way to the first folder was November 8th. And remember, I told you that it's going to check in at first every day, then today. Now you'll see that in a week from now, all of the ones that say yesterday will have turned into just one folder. It'll just say one date. And then like right now for 24 hours, you're going to have a check-in every hour. But see how already November 8th just says November 8th. So 2 days ago, 2 days ago, you had things that
And
were
yesterday.
24 choices, but it's already turned to one day. By tomorrow,
you.
everything that now says yesterday will be turned into November 9th. And
Right.
everything, and so on and so forth. And then after a week, November 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 were turned into 1 week. So it
Can I
kinda-
turn
it
one of
reduces
those
itself.
down?
No, don't delete anything ever from here.
No,
You
turn
can
it
shut them off.
down.
Oh, to open it. Yeah, you can open it and see
Right.
what's there. You can open and see what was there in November 8th.
Oh, just Mac HC data.
No, you
and
know,
then-
keep opening, and it's the whole structure that I showed you today. So go into users. And in users, Barbara Walsh. And in Barbara Walsh, there it is on your desktop or documents downloads. That's what you had in your downloads that day, November 8th in your downloads. So maybe you already go open your downloads from November 8th. And maybe you've already dealt with some of this today in class and it's not gone, it's not here anymore, but it's still there. It was still there 2 days ago. I don't know if you've dealt with anything yet.
Cool.
but
No, I've
Eh?
been in bed.
No, that's fine. So
I
if you
just
go
have
in,
not been feeling good.
oh, I'm sorry to hear
Don't
that.
know why,
But all I'm saying is, if you go now and delete stuff from downloads, if you come back here, you'll see that they're still there in November 8th, but today they won't be on your computer. Okay,
Great.
that's the time machine. But for the most part, we don't need to open in this. This is just, as I said before, for insurance. You don't need to be looking into it. It just does its thing. It keeps compressing
Right.
itself into less and less pieces. So you can close that window, and you don't want to delete anything from in here because then the whole time machine
No,
gets
no,
like really
I
messed
was
up.
just curious
Yeah. that's
as
what it is.
to, and then messages, is that
That's your
like I,
text app. That's
I
your texting
type,
app.
I put a, what?
That's your texting app. That's what messages is.
Like,
So,
like I can text my daughter's phone from here,
yeah, yeah. If
as I've never
you-
used it. Okay.
Yeah, when you first open your texts, it needs you to connect your phone to it. So it's usually lives on the dock. If you've never used it or took it off the dock, then double click on it from here.
I just took it off today because
Okay.
I was taking the icons went all the way across.
Yeah, so that's
Oh, I
good.
put it back on.
Okay, so open it up and you'll see it'll ask you if you want to connect your phone number, unless you've already connected it. Oh, I guess you've already connected it. So as long as it's connected to the right phone and everything, you can text from here. And then once it's connected, all your texts will show up either here or on your phone. Right now, there's only one. So if
Okay,
you go
I
up to-
think I texted her and then she answered, I am now.
Mhm. So is this from today?
No, it was the other day,
No, okay. But meaning if you go to your
but
phone, here's the thing, if you go to your phone, if your messages are turned on in the system preferences and the cloud and in everything, then over here you would be reading the same things that are on your phone. Like this wouldn't be isolated in your phone. Rather, if the cloud has all of the check marks and the things put together, like yes, green everywhere, then if you write something in your phone, it shows up here. And if you write something here, it shows up in your phone. So it's equivalent. So you have the same messages everywhere. Does that make sense?
okay, I have an ulterior motive.
Yeah,
Sometimes I look for my phone for over an hour.
yeah. So
So
this is great.
I
So,
could text my daughter to call me.
yeah.
My
So,
phone would ring and I could find it.
yeah, so just make sure that this is turned on in the system preferences so that it's equivalent. Like you go up to the top where it says messages. Go to preferences. And then go to, I can't see very well. Go up to message on the right, general, go to the right. Okay, go to the left again. Left,
Oh, wait.
the same, yeah.
Here,
Click on
general?
yeah, general. It's so tiny. It's there. Setup name and photo sharing. I don't-
I can read. I didn't.
Yeah,
know
I'm
how
just not
how to do it. And
Barbara, please, I'm sorry, I can't yell anymore. Sorry, my voice is like 1 second because I need to go. Point I'm trying to make is, I don't know if it's set up connected to your phone yet. If you pick up your phone, do you see this text that you shared with her on your phone? If not, you still
Oh.
don't have it set up back and forth.
I
And-
wouldn't see it. It was October 20th.
Okay, so then what you need to do is you need to connect your phone messages to this messages. And then when you open this, you'll see exactly the same that you see on your phone and it'll go back and forth. And then what I do is when I'm on my computer, a text comes in and I can respond with my computer. And when I'm on my phone, a text comes in, I can respond on my phone. That's all.
Right, right.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right. Okay, so to do that, you
Thank
need
you.
to just go to the preferences. All right.
I'll go in and set it all up.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna stop your sharing and I think you're the last one left.
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
Debbie's here. Debbie, do you have questions or are you just still just left it on? I think she just left it on because she's not there. All right. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Barsha. Bye, Barbara. Bye, Debbie. Oh, there's Debbie. Did you have a question, Debbie, or are you done? No, you're speaking, but your sound is off. So
I've been listening the whole time, but I'm
Got it,
unpacking
got
from
it.
New York. at the same
no,
time,
that's
too.
perfect. How was your trip?
It was really good. It was fine. We had good weather and fun with our family.
You were there for the marathon then, right?
Yeah, but
It didn't
we weren't-
affect
it didn't
you.
go by
You're-
us.
Yeah.
We were
just-
in Greenwich Village.
Oh, got it. I was gonna say, because it probably stopped traffic everywhere, but I guess not if it didn't affect you.
Yeah, it wasn't that close to us.
All right. Okay. Bye
Bye.
there. Take care.
You too.